Hey, it's Mark Lee sitting in for Jacoby. He'll be here very shortly. He's doing those daddy duties and all of that, but he will be here and he is the main man behind this show. And I'm definitely glad to sit in for a minute and have some conversation with Kara Oker and who knows who else may pop in. And of course, we're waiting for Jacoby to come on in the house and share what he's got going on. I love that fist bump, by the way, when they were showing the video games and all of that. And that one kid gives that fist bump and gets all excited about whatever video game he's playing. It just is a great shot of somebody really being enthusiastic about what they're doing and having fun with competition and all of that. When he gets here, we're going to have a conversation about a couple of things that I found out in the news. But I'm going to bring in Kara Oker and see what she's got going on over in her neck of the woods and all of that. So, how is the lovely
Nice.
Kara doing all kinds of amazing things in the world of health coaching and all of that, but just doing great things all the time. So, definitely glad to see that lovely smile and your just wonderful personality and all of that. So,
Thank
definitely,
you. It's
no
good to be
problem.
here again. I know I've been off the radar for a little bit. It's just been really busy in my world. When I'm able to catch a breath, I'll be able to explain it all more coherently. One of the projects I've been doing, it has been being a producer, filling in for a little bit for Mark Lee, just getting and my own, cutting my own producer teeth and funk from the front seat. And so that's been super fun. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I love this. So if anyone needs me to produce their show, let me know. Their live stream show, I got you. I got this. But that's been fun. And I do have a question though, Mark. Um,
Yes.
are you able to put our names up so people know us?
I think we can do that and everything. I can definitely make that happen. I don't know why we didn't have that happen the first time, but we
I
can definitely
know.
do
I think
that.
Jacoby has a weird setting somehow that defaults to no names.
Yeah, somehow he has that going on and everything, and I don't know why he has that setting because it actually has it up on the save. So I'm trying to figure out what he
That's
has done. So let me see if I
interesting.
can figure out how we can make it happen and everything. So I'm with
Yeah,
you on that because it doesn't have our names up there at
when
all.
he gets back from gymnastics,
Yeah, maybe he can figure it out for us because I'm seeing
when he
it
stops
definitely has
fumbling.
display name and everything. So definitely I am a little bit confused about that as well. So we'll figure that out and all of that. But I've been doing some amazing things as well because definitely
Yes, talk about that.
yeah, no problem. One of the things that I've been doing, and I've mentioned on this show before, but I'll definitely share it with you and everything. With this past weekend, a friend of mine is in the process of trying to get a thrift store because he wants to have a thrift store for folks that are in the spectrum, the autism spectrum, and all of that. So they would be the main employees. And we did an event on Friday. So this past Friday over at the Longview Brewing Concern. That's the name of the place in Raleigh. And definitely it was fun. Reese Palmer, who is a country singer, performed and she's a longtime friend of mine. I know her and her husband and the two kids now and everything. So definitely they are family friends and she just did a great job. She was actually coming in from Nashville. So you want to talk about somebody being dedicated to you as a friend. She had agreed to do it and she was doing some work with that whole country music community in Nashville. And it sounds like she literally got off the plane and drove her to the gig. And then she went to finally catch up with her husband after having been away from him
Yeah.
for several
She
days. But she
she does a
sacrificed
lot of
that.
great work in general. You can find her on Instagram under Reese Palmer, RISSI Palmer.
Exactly. You
So
can't find it.
just wanted to cut in, but I'm a fan of hers. So that's kind of cool that you guys are connected.
Yeah, we're longtime friends. She actually considers me one of her good folks that if I call her for a gig, and this is actually the second time that I've called her for a gig, and it might even be more than that, but two recently because I also called her in for the Carolina Theater. And usually when I send her a Facebook message or reach out to her in any way, she's like, "Is Mark calling?" And I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Well, then consider it done." So we have had that kind of relationship, and I'm
That's
considered friends
cool.
with her and Brian, her husband, as well as the kids and all of that. I remember the older one is Gracie. I'm trying to remember the younger one's name and everything, but they're just fun people. Ironically, I had forgotten, but we were sitting there talking and everything. So she moved to North Carolina because she met Brian on a cruise ship. So they were, I think at the time, they're in their mid to late 30s now, but they were at the time 20 or 25 and met on the cruise ship. So you
Were
can
they
have
taking a
even on
cruise
a
or
cruise.
were they working on the cruise ship
They were
together?
not working. They were just there hanging out and things of that nature.
Okay.
Brian's actually in that computer space of work and everything. So she actually
Ah,
moved to North Carolina to be with her gentleman and everything. So she moved here. They've
that
now got a great family and all of that. But they are just an amazing couple, and I just love the entire family. So it's not just me
yeah,
in that
that
respect.
cruise ship love is a real thing, man. You're stuck on a ship in the middle of the ocean with a bunch of pretty people. You're like,
Yep.
hey, pretty person, what's up? So I get it.
No,
Get
I
it
get
to
it
her.
too. No, I get it too. I actually went on a cruise maybe 2.5 years ago or something like that. It was a fun cruise. I went with a couple of friends and everything, and we had a good time. I remember there was a band, an R&B type band. I think they might have been, for some reason, I'm thinking they might have been out of your neck of the woods, like they might have been out of Ohio or something like that. But definitely, they were a house band doing all kinds of,
That's
the
cool.
old soul, old R&B, and I enjoyed talking to them and hanging out and meeting them, the musicians that is, and everything. And then I also went to one of the shows. I think that particular show that I went to was might have been in one case a magician, and in another case it might have been like a musical type uh, performance. And then, oh no, on those cruises, you got those dueling pianos. That's always fun because they sit there and go back and forth with each other on those dueling pianos. So definitely, I remember that, and I also remember the painting art folks. Now I don't know how many cruises you've been on, if you've been on any. And that was actually my first one, but the art people can sometimes be a little bit of a hassle because they are some hard salespeople. They will just track you down and be like, look, you want to buy this, you want to buy that, and you sit there going like, I've already told you what my budget is and everything. So yes, I can do it, or no, I can't. But they are, um, in some cases, in my mind, overly aggressive. But that's just my
Well, I
opinion.
don't
But
let people hassle me at all, so I never have that issue. I just cut them off at the waist from the get go. I look at people who are trying to peddle anything towards me in an aggressive manner, and bam, I just eyes of ice in a polite manner, and then that's it. So we can work on that with you, Mark. We
yes,
can
we're gonna
work
have to
on
work on
that.
that. So yeah, I don't have that cold ice stare. So we're gonna have to work on that and do that on a regular basis and everything. And I was supposed to do on yesterday because I know you're friends with a couple of other friends of mine, including Brian Shulman and the lovely Nancy Barrows and a couple of other people. And I was actually supposed to be part of their lip sync battle round two because me and Tim Sohn went up against Nancy and Brian
Oh
in
yeah,
round
my new
one.
bestie Tim. My
Yeah,
new bestie Tim.
yeah, but we were supposed to. Well, Tim is my partner in crime, and I picked a song. Ironically, I had forgotten that the song has a lot of complicated lyrics because everybody knows the refrain. Because a lot of times songs will have refrains, and the refrain is easy, which is that whole thing about Love Shack. So I picked Love Shack, and then um, Nancy and Brian sang a Rihanna song. So I was feeling
Love it.
disadvantaged because our song I felt was a little bit more complicated. So I had agreed that we were going to do Battle Royale Part Two, and unfortunately, Tim wasn't feeling well, so that battle got postponed until next Wednesday or this coming Wednesday. But definitely, I was ready. I was, pumped up, ready to tag up with Tim and to sing the Rihanna song and everything because it was actually one of her more popular songs that's out there now and everything. So
We
I
should
think
we should do that here on Gamers Done. Um, yeah, that would be cool.
would be cool, and definitely looking forward to the battle. But I think that would be cool. Speaking of cool, I've added. That on the online dinner party, I do a mystery guest, and that's basically just a trivia question. But I have added a new component where I'm recruiting people, and it's actually based on a clip that a friend sent me that I sometimes run as a time saver and everything. So meaning if I've got some extra time that I need to wait while getting to my next guest or waiting for my next guest to come on. My friend Calvin had sent me a poem. I think it's his poem, but he had a friend of his recite the poem. So I'm doing right now. It's just called the showcase. I need to give it a fancy title. So if you can come up with a fancy title for me, let me know. But it's a chance for people to showcase their talent. It can be anything. They can be singing, they can be dancing, and it basically just them doing it in a 3 to 5 minute kind of variety. They can be either professional if they're in that field or whatever, because I'm going to reach out to some friends of mine in the poetry community, and I do have a lot of those here in the spoken word community, or if they're just amateurs and want to do it for the fun. So, like I said, there's no real cash prize yet. If I can ever get some monetization going on, that may change. But right now, it's
Yeah.
just a fun segment and all of that. So,
I mean, my mind automatically just goes to just like I don't know, just kind of like reframing it in like a way that like kids could understand. So like I'd be like talent time, like snack time, talent time. I don't know,
actually,
but if anyone has a possible name for this segment for Mark Lee's show on Wednesdays, drop a comment below. Nivex, are you watching? I'm here for you today, buddy.
I
So
love that
Nivex,
idea.
drop some comment love. I would love to hear from you in general. And also, do you have a possible name for Mark's segment? Yes. Challenge.
Well,
Challenging you, Nivex, and everyone.
I love that idea. Talent time. I may go with yours, but definitely anybody else have any other ideas? Let's go for it because definitely I remember, I was big on snack time when I was a kid. So I actually like it, talent time and everything. But if anybody else has any other ideas, I am open to suggestions and all of that. But Kara, I'm actually liking yours initially, but
Talent
we're
time.
open to other ones as well. But talent time does sound really cool and all of that. So
Love
I am right now tentatively we're going to call it talent time as suggested by Kara. But if anybody else has any other ideas, we'll go with those as well. But I'm actually liking your title so far. So but I'm open to all
Yes.
titles and all of that. So that's one of the things is, we got to be open to different things. But talent time does have a nice little ring to it. I mean, yeah, definitely. And then maybe I can get Daryl because Daryl
It's
has said that he will help.
simple. It's
So
effective.
yeah,
You know what it's about.
exactly. I like it. Effective, right to the point. No, you cut right to the chase. So I like it. I like it a lot. By the way, we've had this guy on all of our shows here on Pod TV that has been a regular. So I'm hoping that he's watching as well. And all I know is that his name is Ghost Hand and he's got some numbers behind it. And I cannot remember those numbers, unfortunately. But he is from
Oh,
Brazil because I know he's popped in on the World
nice.
Edition and he's popped in on this show, I believe. He's popped in on a couple of other shows, but he is from Brazil. So I'm hoping
That's
Ghost
so
Hand
cool.
slash whatever your numbers are will pop in because he comes in off of Twitch. But he's talked about everything from Brazilian politics to different other things. So he's somewhat, he's got various interests. And I think he might even be
Those hands.
interested.
Okay, if you're on, give us a comment. Jacoby,
Hey,
hey, pumpkin, I missed you.
I miss you too, girl. How you
I miss
been?
you. I love how you get on and suddenly my twang just wants to like.
It did kind of pop out. That was kind of interesting. I enjoyed
Hi,
that.
Jacoby.
How's it going there, Jacoby? I was glad to be able to start everything off. We were just having a general conversation and all of that, but I was also coming up with a title for my online dinner party talent show segment. And I love what Kara came up with, which was talent time. Your kids have snack time.
Simple,
Let's do
effective.
talent time. So I actually like that title.
Talent time. Interesting.
Jacoby.
What you got?
Somebody's got a comment, but Jacoby, I've actually got a question for you that's based on our neighbors and all of that. So I think that you will be, because we're here in Durham, me and you, Kara's over there in the Ohio area and all of that. But just down the road from us is this town called Raleigh, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the wildlife in Raleigh because there was that snake that got loose and was
Yep.
roaming
You make
around,
it
and then they
sound like
tracked down and everything.
like a very small town or something.
Yeah, I know.
No,
He did make
I know
it sound like it's like
it's the
Yeah,
capital city. It's the
St.
capital
Leon,
city.
Indiana, Raleigh, same
this
thing.
this podunk town with only one stoplight and a convenience store that isn't even working half the time. Raleigh.
Right. No, it's the capital city. I will give you that. It's the capital city. But I do have to tease
Maybe
the
there's
city
that.
because, like I said, it had this snake that got loose. And then I think it was last week at either Dick's, which is, of course, used to be a hospital and now it's a big park and everything, or it was at Rex. There was a baby bear that got loose and got stuck. So we know that the cats would get stuck and things of that nature, but there was the baby bear that got stuck and everything. So what's going on with Raleigh? Are the animals just wanting to go hang out in Raleigh? Is it the new animal hangout? Because, like I said, I just saw most of those stories, and I knew that when I saw you and we were going to be on the Gamers Den, I was like, I've got to ask you, Toby, what's going on with animal life
I want
and
to
the
add
capital
on
city of Raleigh?
to that when Jatobe's finished.
So,
But go.
hey, if you want the jokey joke, oh yeah. Nivix points out that in Chapel Hill they had a German Shepherd Wolf hybrid on the loose.
Yeah, I heard about that as well.
I mean,
Linux, by the way, long time. I am doing all right. Okay.
So in Chapel Hill, you have mutant animals, and then you have Raleigh with runaway animals, I guess, going to Chapel Hill so they can make hybrids. But guess what? In Durham, we're normal.
Right.
I mean, says you.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
As some weird guy, probably by the name of Mark Lee, just rolls around town in a T-Rex outfit.
That is Mark.
Wait a minute. Who told y'all about the T-Rex outfit? I had that in hiding along with the balloon that I used to have. Who told you about the T-Rex outfit? I want to know how the word got out.
Well, Mark, you are famous.
You keep saying that.
Famous.
You keep saying that. You said that in the luncheon too, and I'm sitting there going like, Kara, there were some young ladies that are, I think, going to be helping us and everything that Nick has recruited, one from Nigeria and one from Syria. And if you had heard Jatovi, you would have thought that I was President Biden because he was like trying to pump me up and all of that as being the great celebrity of this area. When we really know that it's all about Jatovi in terms of fame in Durham, North Carolina. But he was trying to convince the Syrian and the Nigerian that I was the big deal, and I'm not buying that.
Yes, you are the big deal, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, who else can pull off the leopard print Speedo but Mark Lee?
I mean, I need that to be sent to my phone ASAP.
See?
I hear y'all. Y'all are good. Yes, is that
got to my heart right there. Like, hold on, let me find it. It's been a while.
They're giving me a hard time. I don't know why, but you still haven't explained the runaway animals. So, you tell me what's with the runaway animals?
Hey,
He's not Bruce Almighty or Ace Ventura. He doesn't know.
Other than hey, they want to be free.
German Shepherd Wolf mix though? Whoa.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a pack though. That'd be wild. But
that would be wild.
Interestingly enough, the
like corgis.
Yeah.
The German Shepherd Wolf corgis.
Interestingly enough, speaking of hybrid or hybrid dogs, the actual huskies that they use on the actual the Iditarod are actual mixed hybrid dogs. They're not actually the ones that are the big puffy animals that you see. No, they're hybrids. So
hey, Sharon, we were talking about runaway animals and of course all kinds of other things, but are there any runaway animals over there in Oklahoma or Kansas going on? Because here in the Triangle area, we've had a runaway baby bear that was stuck in a tree. We've had some snakes that were escaped and they ran away. And then apparently there's a hybrid wolf dog that's floating around or was floating around in Chapel Hill. So there've been a couple of these runaway animals going on. So we were trying to figure out if that just in North Carolina or if it's gone over there to Kansas and Oklahoma as well.
I don't know about Kansas and Oklahoma, but when we lived in Tampa, some chick got mauled by her own bobcat. She had a bobcat in an apartment in downtown Tampa. Google that. That was fun. It definitely mauled her to death.
I mean, when in Florida,
I
did
know.
some crazy Florida things.
Like Florida man stuff is one thing, but like in the city in Tampa, some chicks just like, I don't know, the doorbell rang and crazy. My bobcat went nuts. Oh no.
No, but that's
She
a
thinks the doorbell's crazy, and everyone's like, but the bobcat is crazy. That part of the story is crazy.
That is crazy, but I remember, and this was decades ago, when I worked at the Boca Raton News. I covered a couple of different stories, everything from science fairs to who knows what else. I was there for about 4 or 5 months in the late 80s and everything. And I remember that there was actually a person in that area, which is toward the southern part of Florida, and I've heard of it happening even since that time, and a manatee got stuck in their house. So the manatee, and you know how big a manatee is, the manatee was stuck in like the part of the house that's like the porch back deck kind of area, but the police had to come and try to get the manatee to go back to the ocean.
Yeah, actually, I've seen that because they have the decks that go into the waterways.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen that. Okay, so when we were in Tampa, because they do have all of those waterworks and crap, so the manatees will go from there into like Crystal River, which is a little bit further north inland, and they'll get stuck underneath the docks outside the houses. They try to go underneath to get shade when it's really, really hot, and then they'll get stuck in stuff, or it'll get too close to the shore. Thank you. Holy crap. and they wedge in, and then oh no, and then, that was rough.
Yes.
Just saying that I know what you're talking about. That's all. My bad.
I mean, I just recently had an experience with a baby bird. Like, I guess there's been a surge of birds just kind of like dropping or whatever. But a lot of those birds are actually baby birds. And the baby birds were trying to learn how to fly. And I brought one of the baby birds into the gate because I didn't want it to get mauled by like a dog on the street. So I put it in like a little strawberry carton, and then one of the neighbors came by and like fluffed out some of her dog's hair and like kind of put it on the baby bird. But it was there all day. And I think the mom was trying to teach it how to fly because it's just a very involved thing and only a mama bird can do that. And like what the wildlife lady told me on the phone was that literally the mama bird, and this is like badass, the mama bird will literally be standing on the ground with the baby bird, like, what am I doing in life? Like, what am I doing with my life? And the mama bird will be like, well, this is what you do. This is how you fly. This is how you get up, la, 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 la. And like the way that birds do, and they like coach their babies how to fly. And unfortunately, like my little baby bird didn't make it. And like I was super sad and gave it like a proper burial in a flower pot.
You are so cute. You are so sweet.
And
I think of the amount of times I've gone dove hunting, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry because you were so nice, and I killed them and eat them.
Well, like, and that's the thing, when you're hunting, that's different, and you still go through the practice of like respecting the animal, right? But I'm like, this is a street bird. It had no chance on these streets.
Yeah,
the bird from the hood.
Yeah, the street bird.
The bird from the hood. Yeah,
So
I like that.
I'm just gonna give it as much sunshine as it's crossing the baby bird rainbow bridge as possible.
You're so cute. Oh my god, you're so sweet.
I mean, I'm this, and then I'm also like, ah. So, but I there is this element of me where I'm like, poor baby bird, he didn't stand a chance.
But Siren, I really can't talk about the idea of bird justice and down to help the bird when the bird dies and give it the bird funeral and everything. Because I had a friend of mine who unfortunately has left his job, and I'm not sure where he's at now, so I need to catch up with him. But we called him Eskimo. That he went by his nickname, and he's a local skateboarding guy, goes around skateboarding. And I became friends with him at the convenience store and everything. He considers me his play. He considers me his play uncle. His nickname is Eskimo, but he considers me his play uncle and all of that. But birds will sometimes fly into windows and things of that nature, and unfortunately, they oftentimes die when that happens, and that had happened there in the case. So me and Eskimo have a little bit too much free time on our hands and a little bit too much imagination. So we were imagining what would happen if the birds decided to have bird court and would actually be trying to try what's going on when they are going on, because we were sitting there going like, all right, so they're probably going to like try to have you on trial because you're the one that put that glass up there. So there was a whole bird court scenario.
Do you remember the old Windex commercials with the crows that used to like laugh at other birds and stuff? That's what that makes me think of.
Exactly.
Speaking of bird court, so
that
I should have actually closed. It
It
actually did, kind of in a roundabout way. So
I missed you guys. I'm just saying.
But the window, I should have closed it a little bit more. But in our backyard, on the fence, and it's popped up a couple of times, and we put it up in the neighborhood Facebook page, that there is a hawk that will perch on the fence. Yes, and it's a big. I got to look up what type of hawk it is. However, I was sitting there staring. Yeah, I was staring at the hawk the other day, just watching, seeing what it was doing because it was bouncing around. The neighbors behind me have 2 cats, so I know that the hawk would grab those cats. And we also have bunnies that'll come through in the middle of the night, so I know the hawk will grab the bunnies. However, to get it back to bird court, there was a bird at a bird feeder near a tree in my other neighbor's backyard, and the hawk thought that bird would be tasty. So it actually flew into the tree, and it's a little bitty pine tree, flew into that tree, grabbed the bird, landed on the ground, looked around, waited a few minutes, and then just flew off with that bird and its talons. Yep.
That'll
So
mess the
birds
neighborhood
don't
kids up.
Give a damn. They're hardcore. They're like, if you want to know about hard knock life, you go through it in the lens of a bird. They're brutal.
Yep.
Yes, really brutal.
Oh, our buddy's back.
Hello, guys.
Oh yeah, that's right, John. You
what
didn't get
up,
to meet Kara last time.
Hi.
Hello.
Mister.
How are you doing?
Mister,
How's everybody doing?
Hey,
Pretty
guy.
good, pretty good.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's
Who
Thursday.
is this lovely human?
My name is John, and I was here last week, and I had a blast. So they invited me back. So
Yeah.
here I
Try and
is.
keep him. He's another gamer streamer. Like
Yeah.
Welcome.
I
We
know.
like to keep people.
Right.
And John, Kara is a health and life coach.
Okay.
She's an amazing person, and she actually lives north of you.
Oh, really?
I live north of everyone.
Well,
Where
yeah.
do you live?
I'm in Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, oh.
But like also,
But with disgust.
but
I know
also
where
east.
Kansas is.
No, I do, but I'm like, but it's more like I'm east and you're not east.
Right. We're at east on the East Coast.
Oh,
East
well, not
Coast?
East Coast, but I'm more east than Kansas.
okay.
Cincinnati.
Oh, right,
Ohio.
Ohio. Yeah. My grandma was from Dayton.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Nice.
So
Freaking
I've been
Ohio.
everywhere.
So, John, we were talking about runaway animals and just how animals can be fun. We were using the segments of what happened here in North Carolina because we had a couple of runaway snakes. We had the runaway baby bear that got stuck, and we also had a hybrid wolf dog mix that's running around Chapel Hill. And then we were talking about birds and manatees and other things. So have there been any runaway animals in Kansas? Because, we know that Toto went and flow off on that tornado and everything. So
He's
everybody
gone. We
thinks of
still
that
haven't found
when they
him.
think about runaway animals.
Every once in a while, we look up and we're like, he'll come down. First of all, I've never heard of someone say my snake run away. Just if I worked at a place where like, hey man, yeah, I got like a 20-foot python. That fucker is missing.
There you go.
Like, well, okay, who do you call, man? You know, it's in Australia.
The
But no,
windows would sound off, and everyone would be looking for it. Whatever
But
was in
Basically
the
not
what
me.
happened. Like
No,
somebody
you're gonna
called
run
the
away.
news station and was like, somebody put on the news, there's a giant snake. I don't know where it went.
like,
I'm
what a
really
phone
sorry."
call.
Like,
I don't like anything I can't hear coming. So
No, but John, I can relate to what you're saying because I remember my younger brother when we were living together, and of course he's got my 12 and 13-year-old nephew. So we're talking many years ago, probably 15 or 20 years ago. He actually collected different animals. He's a big dog person, but he had snakes at one point, and he had at least one big snake. I think it might have even been a boa. And I remember him coming by the house, and I think I had come home and taken a nap. And he's like, "Mark, the snake is loose," and I'm like, "Malik, I'm out the house. I'll see y'all
Right.
when you catch the snake." So I was gone, and I remember when I came back, he's like, yeah, we found a snake. The snake was doing what snakes will do. It was trying to stay cool and everything. So it was actually found behind the refrigerator. It was
There
actually
is
found
fire.
behind the refrigerator.
Right, I ain't sleeping in this house.
I think it was a National Geographic episode. Speaking of other loose animals, I think it was a National Geographic episode, and I think we talked about it last week. Yeah, if the rat gets loose in a house, or if you see a rat in a house, you're supposed to burn down the house. And I think that was a cultural thing, an Indian cultural thing.
So if
Wow.
a rat goes into a house
But
in
it's-
India, they
It's a
burn
hut,
it
though.
down.
It would be a hut, not an actual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
They burn down the hut.
yeah
So
because
every time they
bad
saw a rat,
spirit.
they lost their house.
If I remember, it was bad spirits was the reason.
Bad spirits.
Yep.
Well, man, there's a couple restaurants that would be. Yeah, I don't know about that. Burn down a house every time you see a rat. Little
in
extreme.
India, there'd be
now
like
let's see.
nothing there, right?
That's what I'm saying. And like they lose all their land. No wonder they burn their homes down. Like,
There'd be fireballs in my alley.
right? I
They
don't
don't get
understand.
into the houses. They just like scurry in the alley. So just
Now, if it was
fireballs
spiders, I
everywhere.
completely get it. Like that makes all the sense. But I mean, it's just rats, man.
What? Absolutely nobody says it's just what? That was a medieval way to kill
Hey,
people.
Ratatouille was a great movie. He's an inspiration to
was.
me. Like there is good rats in the world. I
You
wear hats
stop.
just in case he shows up.
You stop. No.
'Cause wait a
all I
minute,
think
was
of is
Ben-
that Game of Thrones when he puts all of the freaking rats in the pail? Puts a pail on that dude's stomach
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he starts lighting the back end on fire? Yeah, that was a real thing. That was like legit. The
That
people
was
did
also,
that.
I think, in a Jet Li movie, Kiss of the Dragon
Well-
or something, where they put rats on his chest and they heated up the box with a
Because it's
blowtorch.
real. Because
Oh,
they
yeah,
did
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
tell
That's
me
true.
they're just rats. They eat through your chest.
Only the ones that are angry.
I mean, I
Every time they were pissed
if I
off,
was
you get
in
happy
the
rats.
box
He
with
isn't going to
a
eat through
fire.
your chest. Happy rats make food.
What?
Good point, John.
I'll
Hey,
fight
just tell
you.
me, was Ben a rat or a mouse? I forgot the old classic movie. I think that was a rat.
Ben?
The movie Ben.
Man,
I don't remember Ben.
you know, like Five
Only
Goes
mouse
West or
movies
something?
survival. That's what
I'm
I
gonna look it up.
see.
There was an old movie like
American
from the 70s or
Tail.
something like that. But I'm gonna look it up. I think that was a rat, but I'm gonna look it up while we're talking and everything.
Mark, you're old.
I know I'm old.
Never heard of Ben.
Oh, like what are you talking
Well,
about?
you know, Ben, you're right. I'm old. I was 10 when the movie came out, but Ben was a 1972 American horror film about a young boy and his pet rat, Ben. It was actually the sequel to the film Willard. So it actually had a sequel. So there was actually two versions of this
Third
movie.
movie is
And I
named
was
Ben's.
9 and 10. And actually, Michael Jackson wrote the theme song. It was called Ben's Song. So Michael
Yeah.
wrote the theme
It
song.
exists. Oh my gosh. What year did it come out?
It came out in 72. I just told y'all I was 10.
I didn't hear that.
I love how you
Jeez.
remember the exact year it came. I don't even know what year I got married. And you
Well,
remember what year
I'm
this
for
came
real.
out?
I looked it up and everything. The scary thing is that it was actually, even though it was a movie about rats, and like I said, I was 9 or 10, I just looked up the production company. It was produced by the Bing Crosby production company.
With rats?
Ben Crosby.
Singing
Bing
in the
Crosby.
Rain, White Christmas.
Yep.
That
And
one.
then Ben the horror movie rat.
Yes, he produced that. White Christmas dude produced Ben the horror movie Rat.
That is kind of
He
funny.
was a twisty soul then.
What? He was like I'm so confused. Everything about this has my brain. Like, now you brought in Bing Crosby, and now, like,
Yeah.
all I can hear is, like, sisters. That's from White Christmas, because I love that movie, and now I'm super confused.
Oh,
Okay, wait.
Something
Hold
about
on,
a death
hold on,
rat?
Mark.
Death rat and
Hold
Bing
on.
Crosby.
Before we even keep going on the rats, Siren, what was that song again, and what was that dance?
It's called Sisters. It's from White Christmas, and I'm not doing it again. That's
That was
pretty
awesome.
cute.
No,
I love how she's like, it's from Sisters.
yeah.
I watch
It's
a lot of
from
musicals.
Sisters.
I love musicals, and I'm not sorry.
Hey, there's some good
That's
musicals
sorry.
out there. You can't hate on some good musicals.
Right?
Across the
There's
Universe is
some
one of my
musicals out
favorites.
there.
Us. Come back to Toby.
He's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have to find
Where did your Toby
Sisters."
go? He
I
disappeared.
hope he
But
doesn't. I really hope he doesn't find that clip.
Oh my
The
god.
dance
he's looking for the
I'm
clip.
doing.
I'm sure he's gonna find it and everything. If it makes it worse, not only was it a bad movie, but it was a bad movie apparently with a remake made in 2003. So apparently Willard was a remake of the original movie that Ben was part of. So like I said, it was Willard, then Ben, then they left
The
everything
best is
alone
that you
for
picked
several
the
years, and
sequel.
30 years later they made Willard.
Yeah, you didn't pick the abstract movie. You picked the abstract movie sequel. Like, it's awesome. And they go, anybody came out in 1972, sequel to an unheard of movie. Nothing. I got nothing. But now I want to
Yeah.
see it. Bing
Yeah,
Crosby
now I
and a
gotta find
freaking
it.
killer rat.
A killer rat. It's a movie about a killer rat. So apparently that's what the
man.
whole movie thing is. But Willard is apparently available, and I guess Ben is as well on Netflix. I want to come back if that's okay, Jacoby. It's all about your show and everything.
No, this is everybody's show. This is everybody's
But I
show.
want to come back to what the gamers did is about and everything, which is the gaming industry. Because apparently, and I think Siren may have some thoughts about this, but apparently Netflix is going into gaming. So
Yep,
that just came out
they are.
today. So they have said that
What?
they are going to go into TV shows, movies, and a gaming platform because apparently they've hired some people out of the gaming industry to create their gaming in part of the wing and everything. So apparently they're ready to go into gaming. So are you ready
That
for
would be
Netflix
super
to be
smart.
providing games along with the TVs and the movies?
It's just simulations of you sitting there watching Netflix. Press A to switch. Continue watching. AABB up.
Yeah, they don't have Twitch anymore. It's Switch. So you can just switch between people.
But yeah, Netflix has been wanting to go into gaming for a long time, but GameFly beat them to it because that's the whole idea behind what Netflix was sending out games. And then they hired one of the guys from the Oculus department.
Right, exactly.
So yeah,
Okay. Facebook Oculus or the
the Facebook
VR?
Oculus.
Oh, gotcha.
The VR, I believe.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So I think it's their products department, but they'll probably end up doing like Amazon, having their own developmental area and create an MMO that nobody plays.
Just the amount of big money that's getting into the gaming industry alone scares the shit out of me because it takes a natural economy that grew on its own and it just shakes it up. They're going to start throwing stuff in places and they're going to start forcing stuff. I don't know. I don't even understand really how they're going to do that. Are they going to produce their own games? Are they going to be like a Steam type of thing? Is this like an Apple Arcade type of thing? Like, I'm not 100% sure what.
Well, the article
Netflix
says,
is
and I'll just
trying to
read what
do.
the article says, the company will reportedly build out its gaming team in the coming months to be able to start offering games for streaming within the next year. Netflix isn't exactly inexperienced in the area and previously developed games based on its popular shows. However, it released those titles like what Jacoby was saying on mobile and consoles, and Bloomberg says the company won't be making a separate platform for its upcoming video games, but will instead make them available alongside its shows and movies under their own
creating video. They're going to
they're doing like
new video games.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what Amazon is doing, because that's what Amazon's doing with their platform. They like Crucible. Crucible was the game that got developed by Amazon. They took some crazy developers. Crucible was a garbage game.
I didn't know that Amazon was making their own games.
Yeah, Crucible was their first really dive into it. So
kind of like they're trying to become their own Epic or their own Blizzard or Activision. They're creating their own suite of games. Is that it, on their own platform, or
in a roundabout way? So what Amazon did, Nivix brought up the Star Trek,
yes.
which I remember that. By the way, the Oculus is awesome. I will admit the Oculus Quest 2, I ain't gonna lie, I love the Oculus Quest 2. It's great. And they just did some updates for Steam on it. And so now it actually connects better with Steam. So now I can do all my Half-Life Alyx and it runs smooth.
Oh, that game's great. I haven't played it, but I've watched it be played.
It's awesome. It's
good
awesome.
Game. I never got it. I want to play the one that you'd be like Spider-Man, but you're not Spider-Man. But like, they're like you shoot out the web and you get to control the gun, and it's really cool. It looks dope.
There are so many fun games actually on the PC VR, but because the Oculus Quest is now, since there are no wires with it, especially since you have virtual the virtual side of things, where I cannot remember the virtual mod on the Oculus, but yeah, you have the different applications that allow all your PC VR games to be run wirelessly, and it runs smooth. Virtual desktop. Thank you, Bubba. Good Lord, I cannot think of the word.
Awesome.
Virtual desktop runs so smooth on there.
And by the way, I don't know if you put those comments up, and I've actually got controls as well, but it looks like Kara's favorite person, Nivix, was saying for us not to taunt the happy fun rat. So definitely you can have a happy fun rat, and he was saying do not taunt that happy fun rat. And he was also asking if we remembered a certain game.
You missed the hole that I put it up there on the screen.
I said that. Siren, did I not put that in the context of the question? Did not know if he did put it up? Did I not say that, Siren, at the beginning of what I said?
Talked about it. Like, it's
This is what year did that movie come out? 1972.
So I did say that at the beginning. Whether you had mentioned the thing about the Star Wars that Nivix also mentioned on this comment as well.
But that is exactly what Netflix is doing. They're creating their own stuff, like how Amazon created Crucible. Amazon also has another MMO that's supposed to be coming out within the next few months. I forget the name of it, but that Crucible was garbage. Crucible was really no more than a ripoff of another game that had already come out from Epic a while back. That actually was really, really. That was actually not really, really good, but it was actually pretty fun. It was another. Let me pull up the name for it real quick. It was called.
But it looks like Netflix going to do theirs in tandem with their original series. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That should be interesting. But because consider how many different places their original series come from, like Castlevania, or
think of
the Marvel,
The Witcher
Daredevil
is on Netflix.
Yeah.
The problem is, The Witcher was based off of the book and not the shows, and there hasn't truly been a great show to game actual video game.
Well, they're releasing new DLC for The Witcher Wild Hunt that haven't released in a long time, based off of some of the events in the show. It's actually going to be pretty dope.
I'm scared of that. because I don't want them to do the show. I want them to keep pulling from the books.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
what they've always done.
I think that's why they just added as DLC, but I think it's
True.
going to be pretty dope. But I think they're going to also tie in a little bit into season 2. I mean, it's genius marketing if you think about it.
It is.
That's what
It's
I was
great
about
marketing.
to say. That's brilliant marketing.
So that's some serious brilliant marketing, no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jacoby, and this is actually going to take the conversation in a whole different direction and everything. But I was helping out with the World Edition like I do, and Nick's involved with that. But speaking of late comments, he actually raised a comment that came up in the screen after the show went off the air, which is that he was saying that there was a new surge in COVID, which I did not realize, but that's what Nick was the big boss and everything. But I'm just wondering, what are you hearing? Because I just saw him write that on the comments, because sometimes people's comments come after things have gone off. So I just saw that on the comments earlier, and I was like, what is Nick talking about? So maybe you have an idea.
Where have you been the last few months, Mark?
Yeah, the Delta variant.
No, I knew about the Delta variant, but he was talking about like it was the way he was talking, it would sound like it was another big raise that had happened more recently, like in the last day or two, and it would sound like it was a serious up spike.
Oh, I thought that was due to the Delta variant.
Yeah, that's what it's due to.
On the Delta variant.
And it could be, but like I said, it just popped up out of nowhere. But it could be out of the Delta variant and things of that nature. But it's not the way he phrased it. It made it sound like it was, we had started going down and then it was starting to come back up, and he didn't really specify where. But I also saw that he gave us a thumbs up, so I was hoping he was watching, and maybe he could even write some comments about it, because he is watching apparently right now, and he's one of the founders of this network.
Yeah. I mean, and Nivix points out, I mean, it was the July 4th, and everybody got together anyway. So you have the Delta variant that can spread. So we're gonna have a spike, and we'll see what happens after that. That's the big thing.
I do know the Prime Minister of England is intending on opening up, or has opened up England as if it's pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are very concerned because it's very close to it's Europe. It's close to Europe, the continent, and people go back forth and forth. And a lot of countries like Malta, Spain, they have a huge increase of the Delta variant. And not all of the countries have a high vaccination rate either. So it can affect those who are vaccinated, and it hits those who aren't vaccinated hardest. So, it's kind of one of those where, there is that argument of, oh, well, if I'm vaccinated, I'm going to get it anyways. Well, either way, if you do, you won't be hit as hard. And it's just kind of a very interesting, position we're in globally, just with this new variant, because just a once mutation, I've been reading, just if the virus mutates once, then the vaccine still protects, and then if it mutates twice, which is what Delta did, then it can hit anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And the more virus that's out there, the more that it begins to mutate. There
might be a double variant of Delta, at some point. I mean, that's scary.
I just think that's funny when you said people don't want to get the thing if they're just going to get the virus anyway. And I was like, I laughed because I was just like, well, it's like going out there in the war and say, hey, take off your bulletproof vest since you're going to get shot anyway.
Yeah,
I always think of it like brushing your teeth. Like, I'm not gonna don't worry about brushing your teeth. It's fine. They're gonna get dirty anyways. You're gonna eat. Yeah. So brush your teeth, bruh.
No big deal.
It's nuts. People are interesting. However, you can relate it to Loki, because Loki talks about variants.
Oh, dude, that season finale.
But I want to.
You got to watch Loki.
It's
phenomenal.
I mean, he had me at gender fluidity.
He falls in love with himself. It's so sweet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, self-love is the greatest love.
The beautiful thing, so I have, getting back to rats, or getting back to mice, what Disney has done with the WandaVision series, with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and with the Loki series is phenomenal. You have a story of grief. You have a story of not only PTSD, but the Black experience as well. And then you now have a story of being able to trust yourself. So it's just, the depth that they put, I mean, the amount of attention to detail, the depth within the story.
I love that.
Well, they owe it off the last 10 years of Marvel films. I mean, they're building it off of that. And it's beautiful where they're going with it.
It's amazing.
If you really think about it, like we're literally, the next couple movies is literally almost going to take us on a journey back through all the movies. But it's going to take us down holes and stuff that we didn't see, the stuff that was going on in the background.
Yeah,
you remember Loki still gets killed by Thanos. That still happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I've thought a theory about what if Loki already knows that and he still continues to go with it because at the end of season 2 or whenever the season of Loki is over, he finally realizes that this is what has to happen. If anyone's seen the season finale, you know what I'm talking about. He's like, there's no way around this.
Yeah.
So I thought about
John. Whenever I watch the Loki commercials, I always think of what is it? The character that's in I think it's Star Trek, and I'm trying to figure out is there a connection between say Loki and Lori because the characters remind me a lot of each other, and of course Lori was Data's
daughter.
I'll say, like as I know right now, the Star Trek and Marvel universe are connected, but there is the multiverse, so you never know.
No, it would be the Star Wars.
Did he say Star Wars? I
said Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, I meant Star Wars. My fault.
Yeah, but Star Wars. So evidently, I mean, they're in the same
kind of. You have Hulk up against a Jedi. That'd be kind of interesting. Calm down, Green One.
But the crazy part about the whole Loki thing, and I guess since we, I don't know who's all seen it. Kara, have you seen the Loki series yet?
Not yet. So I definitely want to. I'm going to take over my brother's account. I'm gonna make him give me his login information.
It's worth it because they introduce the new big bad, of course, that's going to be in Marvel. And the new big bad, the way they introduce it is beautifully done because it kind of follows what they did in the comics, which is the best part because the individual that you get introduced to, everybody already knows that it's Kang.
Yep.
And because Kang is a time traveler and they deal with variants. There's Kang the Conqueror, there's Immortus, there's a whole bunch of different versions of Kang that you begin to learn about in the comics. Which honestly, if you read the comics, it's so cool.
Right.
So how they introduce him is the only way to pull off a time travel understanding of the show and the whole concept itself of time travel. So yeah, it's definitely it's. So
I don't know any of this, but at the same time, I am very intrigued because these shows are pulling in deeper elements and are more inclusive to people in general.
Yep,
yes, very in depth. And I think for me, because growing up, this is going back to stereotypes, right? Of gamers or people who, read comic books. I just thought it was just meant for, 13-year-old
nerdy kids.
Yeah.
It's meant for men
nerdy,
and
lonely
women.
Kids. Yes.
Yeah.
And make decisions.
So just the fact that there are so many depths to it, I'm just super excited. And then of course, all these little memes spreading on the internet, mostly done by yours truly, Jatovi, about Loki Gator or whatever. I'm like, I want to know about Loki Gator. Hey, brother, awesome. What are your credentials? I need to log on and start watching.
Speaking of, what people don't really realize about comics, and this is one thing, I think Marvel does it better than DC in their movies because they portray it better. Yeah. So, for example, X-Men was all about inclusivity and social justice. People don't really realize that. That's what X-Men was about. Black Panther was truthfully about the Black struggle. when they told them to add more white people into Black Panther, you know what they did? They added the Klan for the Black Panther to fight.
Yeah.
So you have all these things of what Marvel has done, and they've gotten away from, like you said, the stereotypical movie for comic book movies was it's all about the superpowers. DC does that still, which sucks. The only time that they got out of that was when they did the Dark Knight series and when they did Wonder Woman. Everything else is about, hey, we've got all these powers. But that's not what Marvel did.
Shazam was pretty good, I'll be honest.
Yeah. But Shazam,
when I think of movies like that, I do think of, powers. And then that just bores me in 2 seconds. But that's just me. And
Yeah,
then
and
because you take it that's at face value. Everyone just sees it. Oh, he flies around.
Well, Black Panther really just drew me in. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to know more about
And
like
Right.
this.
I think it's really interesting that superpowers bore you, because the thing about superpowers is that is an analogous way to deal with power, right? Where everybody has a different form of power or a different way. It's just a more extreme version. It's like a reductio ad absurdum of a person and human interaction. So if you take human interaction to an extreme and blow it up into a way that it's easier to digest because it's so big, you can't miss the points, you get comic books.
Well,
That's the point. The point is that is a safe space in a safe way to take all of these, like Jacoby was listing, race, inclusivity, political justice, all of these really hard to digest, hard to explain, or even to break down concepts are very regularly dealt with in comics, because that's something that powers can be immediately analogous to. So as soon as you hear that a superhero has invisibility or has this or that starts breaking down how they fight people, how they take care of themselves, the way that they view themselves in the world, and how, like, all of these things that are intricate into what we should do with ourselves and our own powers, which I think that's why I think it's interesting, because that's what you do.
When it's explained that way and when it is illustrated in a movie that way, I gravitate towards that. But when you have movies where all it is people are just like view, 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 and then you don't get any other explanation other than these are just my powers, then that gets like, okay, like whatever. It doesn't feel relatable.
Like
I think
Boys.
I think that's actually where it boils down to, is that
The Boys,
because The Boys is actually a great example, because the way that it's
so good.
It's
so good, but it's just really, I don't know if she would like it, is what I bet.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think what Kira is expressing is a lot of the discussions that I've had with, some individuals that don't read comics and only watch, IDTV and who killed who and this and that, because it's not relatable. They don't see a power as you described it, but they see it as a power that, people really can't do that. So
yeah, I get that. I'm just saying that's why we made superheroes. We made superheroes as an exaggeration.
Yeah, but I think anime. What it is that with what DC does in their movies of dealing with a stereotypical, hey, these people have powers, but what Marvel does is, hey, these individuals are just like you. These individuals live in a world just like you. But you know what? They have powers, but that's not the important thing about them. Like with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, for example, the Winter Soldier has the serum inside him, the super soldier serum. He also has a bionic arm. Throughout the whole show, that's not the important piece about him. It's the fact that he was dealing with the whole PTSD and what he has
to be
done.
fair, though, Marvel spent a decade building that backstory so they don't have to talk about it in that TV
Even
show.
in Black
So
Panther, for example.
I do agree with you, but
Yeah.
to be fair, all of that was done still. It's just it's a long
Yeah, but I appreciate the long journey because again, as a non-comic book or non-superhero movie watcher, just seeing how it is unfolding now, it really makes people like me be like, oh, this is relatable, because there are
but that's what they're doing.
The whole premise of people being like, maybe maybe there were people who were like me, just having like a childhood where it was just very intense and you had no way out. And just building on that whole relatable story of just having an intense part of you and really focusing on that and being like, but you are powerful. That's what kind of makes it relatable. And so that's what I like kind of seeing now.
And I think that's what they did with when they started. So they actually started the MCU with the Ed Norton version of Hulk. That was actually the start of the MCU. But then what they did was the Hulk is not really a relatable character for everybody, because we all get mad. Yes, we understand that part.
And then you just start throwing things.
Becoming the weight of a ton and getting bigger as you get madder and being able to destroy and fight anything, that becomes unrelatable to the individual. That's why I think it took off really well when they decided to do Iron Man. Because Iron Man, even though he had powers, that wasn't what Iron Man was about. Because Iron Man was more about a governmental structure and trying to dissect that government structure, and then it made it easier and more relatable. And I think that's what grabbed. The same thing with Black Panther. Black Panther didn't have a back history. The history that it had was the Black experience and the Black culture. And people didn't know about Black Panther, but could relate to him. Even Black people who did not know about the character himself, they related to the idea of this beautiful world where people did not take them from a place where they were seen as kings and queens. And that, I think, was what grabbed so many of the African Americans to jump on board quickly with Black Panther without even knowing the character. It made it relatable, but then gave him these abilities, because now, there's so much science and so much technology that could have been in Africa, and that's what people believed in. Same thing. You could go.
I do want to jump in though with Black Panther, though they also did a great job showing what allyship looks like.
Yes,
that detective. Perfect example of he's in the background and he's supportive. He doesn't know what the hell's going on, but he's supportive, and that was just the most amazing display. Just mainstream display of allyship that is so important, and what did not feel, it was not it just came across in like a really beautiful manner. Like, this is what it looks like.
And I think also one of the great things about Black Panther as well, if you take Black Panther and Captain Marvel was about a woman's struggle, because how she gets denied and turned away and overlooked and everything else. That was a woman's struggle. Black Panther was about women's empowerment. The Dora Milaje was, good gosh, any little boy would love to be that woman who grabbed that daggone spear, chucked that joker, broke down the car, jumped out, and then, power slid on the door. She was
my future girlfriend.
So yeah, that was more of women's empowerment, because the Dora Milaje was based off of the historical African tribes that had women as, fighters and so on and so forth. So it was that whole relatability. And same thing with Captain Marvel. But yeah, I mean, you're correct on the building that context for people to grab onto and the powers themselves. But for those who see because I have to deal with my wife, and she only watches ID, but would never watch a magic show. The reason why, or anything with imagination, and the reason why is because that imagination turns her off. because she wants the reality. So something like Stranger Things, she might not get into, but something that she can build onto because she can relate with, she'll gravitate to.
Mhm.
I get
On
it.
that note, I'm
The
so
only thing I
sorry,
was going to
guys.
add to that, and I was wondering if, I'm sorry, if Jacoby had actually, or anybody here, had actually read a book, because it actually talks about a certain book that I'm
Martin
hearing.
doesn't think we read.
I know, but let me finish this sentence. I was sure that came out wrong. The way I phrased that came out wrong. I apologize for that. But I was going to ask about a specific book in general, which is the book called How to Read Donald Duck, which is actually written by a Duke professor, but he actually talks about how cartoon books, and I'm talking about like the old cartoon books, actually are used in a political context. Because he was actually, the argument is that he makes is that Donald Duck and Bugs Bunny and all of those are actually a reflection of the capitalist system, for lack of a better term, and everything. But it's a fascinating book. And I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, but if you haven't, I would urge people to read it, because it looks at a lot of those storylines in that context, but looks at it from the historical aspect, because we're talking the older comic books.
Yeah. On that note, I'm so sorry. I tried to jump off before, but I have to go now. It was so good seeing everyone again. So good meeting you.
Nice to meet
and,
you.
Love you all. Take care.
Bye,
Nibex.
babe.
Bye.
Take care.
Jacoby, when are we going to go kill people in space?
Oh, you ready to kill people in space?
Yep.
That's right. Did you download Among Us, Mark?
I did not. I meant to do that, but I've been doing 1,001 other things. But I will watch it and comment, and I will promise to download it.
It's
next
not
week.
big. It's not a big
I do
file.
apologize.
You can download
And
it
I'll
in
try to,
5 minutes.
while they're on the play, and I might even try to download it now. But I was two things that I wanted to do this week did not get done. One is I was telling Kara earlier was not my fault, but I was also going to be doing, as I know Siren knows, that lip sync competition. By the way, I had to sing Rihanna, and Tim got sick, so we're going to do it next week instead. So my partner in crime got sick, so we had to push it back a week. So they will sing Love Shack, I will sing Rihanna. So it was a Rihanna song.
I want to see Mark sing Rihanna.
We can stand under his umbrella.
Yeah.
Right, Ella. A.
Hey.
So I'm gonna have to lip sync that and everything. Me and Tim will take it on, but yeah, Tim's been going through some different kind of like things in his life and everything, and he was also a little under the weather. So I was ready, because as a matter of fact, I left the meeting because I wanted to get to do my show, but also, as I told Jacoby, because we were in the same space yesterday, I was like, I got to get there so I can do the lip sync battle. But I got there and they were like, Tim's sick. I'm like, Vance, I was ready. See, I was prepared.
He's about to get destroyed with your vocal cords.
So I was ready to take it down.
They moved it up to 15 people now.
Oh, I love you guys, but I'm not playing Among Us. You knew that was happening. You knew it.
Well, I guess Jacoby will have to play Rocket League then, since we don't have enough. And I mean, that's okay too. I mean,
Jacoby knows. You should.
How many do you have to have? You say it's 15 is the max,
bruh. From the moment it came out, I said I wouldn't play it. The amount of people that hit my stream and were like, "Are you going to play Among Us? Can we play Among Us? Will we play Among Us? You should play Among Us." And they tell me, and we'll play Among Us. And you love Among Us, right? And I'm like, I will never touch this game. I'm done.
Hey,
I'm done. So
wait a second. You have Rocket League downloaded, so you can play that then, Siren.
You can play some Rocket League?
Lucio Ball, you mean?
Yeah, we can play Lucio Rocket League.
Jacoby, I did have another news story item that I was going to ask the three of y'all, since y'all are much more into the gaming world about. But I know that there are race car games and everything, but apparently IndyCars has announced plans for a new video game and an esports competition. So are we excited about Indy getting into the video game industry?
If we're going to get into that, if we're getting into car games and we want to talk about crazy ass car games, can we please talk about the truck driving games?
Oh my gosh. The truck simulators are everywhere and they're huge.
Is it weird that I love them? I love watching these burly ass boomers in their trucker hats, and then we just drop it down into third gear, woo! And they're on their own little streams.
Well, the one that keeps popping up on mine is this Filipino kid that's like like low 20s, and he always just sits there and drives around and he sings Filipino renditions of popular U.S. songs.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I'm like, it's like 12, 10 at night. I'm just like, all right. you know, it's like that we get to the awkward part of YouTube when you're watching Russian massage just by a German guy, you know.
So
but now it's mainstream. The random ones that you find that you like, how the fuck did I find the old trucker dude? Or is now like
how they pop up on my.
So
I love it.
I can deal with the trucker games. I can deal with the farm simulators, but this right here, this to me is kind of crossing the line.
What is that? I can't really see the screen that well.
Oh, let me pull it up. I got to pull it up a little bit bigger. Take Mark down. We'll put you up.
Power wash? Oh, that is so satisfying.
Wait a minute.
God.
Are you
This
telling me
is
there's
Asmere right here.
like a power wash that you would have going on in, like, say, your house or something like that?
Look,
Yes, a power wash simulator.
It is so satisfying. I feel like there's judgment, but I want you guys to know that
If they released a like pimple popping game, I probably would lose my mind.
Right? I love Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh yeah,
Dr. Pimple Popper.
I watch her, and then I also go beyond her and watch some other people.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go, Mark. A power wash simulator.
Are you kidding me? Look at that.
Power washing.
That's so aesthetically pleasing.
I love it. Yo, there are hours and
look at it's making straight lines and it's making it dirty. Now it's making it dirty. Now it's clean.
There are hours of footage of
It's
power
like-
washing videos that people watch on YouTube, just nonstop, just hours of it. It is so satisfying. This makes so much sense. Please.
So, I mean, is there like a video game of, not that I have to do it because I live in an apartment, but is there a video game about one of my least favorite chores, which was mowing the lawn? So is there actually a video game about mowing the lawn?
Yes, there is.
There is.
There's
one that is really realistic. Like you straight up like have to do everything.
Yeah, and
they
if
got
you're
someone
not
to just shits
careful,
and giggles.
you run out of gas, and if you don't put the right mix in, sometimes you can mess your stuff up.
Like I said, Mark, I told you before, there is a game for literally everything.
Just about everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy nowadays.
Challenge. Folks that are listening, is there something that is out there that you want a video game about that you think does not exist?
Pimple popping.
So no,
we just came up with it.
I want the audience, including the team, what my friend Brian calls Team Replay. If there's a game that doesn't exist, so I think, and then maybe Jacoby can create the game. So if it doesn't exist, so I'm asking the audience to create something or come up with something that doesn't exist in the world of video games.
I'm telling you, there isn't a game
I
out
like
there.
this. Okay, I like the challenge. All right. Concepts for a video game where there isn't a video game already. Is that it?
Exactly.
Okay. First, beauty crap for chicks. They've got 1 million of those. Cooking. There's 1 million of those.
Yeah.
Are there video games for playing video games?
Yeah, those video games where you make video games.
Damn it!
There's actually a VR game where you play a kid in school who tries to hide that he's playing a video game from the teacher.
Okay, let's see. So there's obviously.
I don't think there's a video game that simulates what it's like to have a family.
What? That's the
family simulation game.
Are you kidding? I get left burned on fire. My mom leaves the stove on. That ain't a family. My house burns down half the time.
That's exactly what that's supposed to be. I'm just saying. Wait, podiatry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a few people out there. There's a few games.
There's not a video game that does that.
I don't know. Is there?
There are fetishes about feet, so there's got to be a foot fetish video game.
Oh crap. Okay, let's think.
Dang.
There's got to be something. I feel like there's something. I was gonna say like,
what it's like to be a walrus.
Oh.
There you go. There's your
games.
There's
your feet game.
all your feet at your feet. Oh my gosh.
This is my fault for bringing it up. I'm sorry.
Well, I like this idea. I like John's idea. The walrus video game. You get to be a walrus.
There
I'm
is no game
sure
out there
there's-
where you get to be a walrus.
Actually,
That's
I
for
think there
damn sure.
is. I think there is
No.
one where you're a walrus. Yes.
There's one called Maneater where you're a shark.
No, there is
No,
something. I just looked it up on YouTube. There is something called the Sea Walrus Survival Simulator. So you get to be, I guess, you get to simulate a sea walrus, but it actually came out. It looks like it's on Dave's Gaming in 2018. So there is something about Sea Walrus Survival Simulator.
What about a
That
game that
sounds like a
simulates
conservation.
different mental disorders?
Oh,
Dementia?
like
Alzheimer's? Think about that.
where like the prompts keep randomly changing and
Well, yeah, there's no
So
games
it
out there,
just
but
gaslights
it would
you to get
educate
you-
people to understand what it's like. Here, put on this VR set, and we're going to show you what it's like to feel like you have dementia. There's nothing out there like that. Boom.
But
You got it.
dementia
That's what it is.
You're right.
No.
There was articles about how video games can help Alzheimer's, but there's no video game about Alzheimer's. But there is something called Forget Me Not. It's a video game called Forget Me Not, and not like you're tying up somebody that aims to increase dementia awareness by immersing players in an unfamiliar environment meant to simulate Alzheimer's. So actually, it looks like it exists.
There is one. Oh my crap. Are you
I
kidding
told you.
me?
Hey, we could do different mental disorders.
Like you're doing a knot, like tying up a knot and everything, aims at to increase dementia awareness by immersing players in an unfamiliar environment meant to simulate Alzheimer's.
That's
Dang.
insane. Okay.
There is
okay.
a game for everything.
No.
Dang, I thought I was onto
Clipping your
something.
toenails. Or clipping any nails. How about that? Oh shit. There's a million manicure ones. Never mind. Crap. Because they have to like paint the nails and file them. Never mind. Crap. Yeah.
Alzheimer's
Dang it.
memories.
Okay. Video
Apparently, one of the
games?
most disgusting games ever has to do with ingrown toenails. So I just typed it up. It says most disgusting game ever, ingrown toenail.
Okay. How about oh crap. I have no idea. I can't believe there are that many video games. Like, what is there?
Tree simulator.
You know there's a tree simulator.
Oh, there's
It's
a
gotta
million
be.
gardening.
By the
ones.
way, Siren, that one that they said most disgusting game ever, it is actually an ingrown toenail surgery simulator. So it will actually
Yes.
simulate what goes on in an ingrown toe. And yes, that does sound like that would be overly disgusting.
Sounds horrible. And I love it. Oh God, what are you two giggling about?
Oh, just Twitch chat. No big deal. And one of Nivek said this has the potential to go off the rails. And then Bull
yeah.
said trying to stay somewhat on them. And I was like, abandon the rails.
By the way, John, there you go.
What's up, dude? Oh, no. Okay. There's probably one out there that teaches you how to tie your shoes. Who knows?
You said there was a video game about tying your shoes.
I said there's probably one out there to do that. I feel like I can just name anything off right now.
I told you there's a game for everything. Somebody has made a game for it.
Find me an
nuts.
allergy simulator.
Oh, there's probably an allergy simulator.
There's got to be allergy simulators.
I know they have. Oh, okay. Wait. Actually, I lied. I know they have one where the main character is like allergic to peanuts, and you have to basically like maneuver them through the whole day without dying. So never mind.
Yeah, and by the way, there's
Avoid peanuts.
skills, and it does have a video game called Let's Tie Our Shoes. So apparently there is a video game about tying
I'm
your
not
shoes.
surprised.
It's called Let's Tie Our Shoes.
Okay. Dang it! Are you kidding me?
This one's hilarious. Allergernium, I guess is how it's pronounced, is not
Early
your typical
access.
survival game. The world created has a unique aspect to which has destroyed most of humanity. You're one of the few who survived the new face of destruction, allergies.
Oh, they are the worst. I mean,
Well,
Does it?
oh,
did
this is
anybody
even
else
this
come
is
up with
even
ideas?
crazier. Siren and Jatobi. Apparently, there was an interactive software game that was developed to help children with food allergies better manage their allergy symptoms and social situations. So apparently, there was even a game about food allergies.
And I've just been searching on Steam just to find these.
This is just Steam.
This is
God.
Yeah, he's just been
I'm
playing
doing searches on Yahoo, like on Google. So these are probably these don't even like on Steam. This is just like regular search.
Also, not a big fan of how many random games there are. It stresses me out. How do all these people have all the time to make all these games? Dang it.
I mean, a lot. So I will admit, some of these independent developers, of course, trying to find that 5 seconds of fame. But also, if they find that 5 seconds of fame, somebody will buy their idea, and then look at how Among Us, the game that you hate, took off.
Among Us.
That was a small development company. Then you got Valheim. Valheim was not a huge development company, but that's a friggin' huge game now.
People. Yeah.
I'm just gonna shave it. I don't even care. Go ahead.
This
I
is
don't even know
interesting.
what's
At
going
least
on
in the
anymore.
first page, apparently there's no video game about stress.
Yeah, can we have that one?
Yeah, there is. It's called Life.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
But that's what we got. Apparently, that is the key. There's no video game about stress. So that's what you got to create, a video game about stress.
All
Is there a
right.
video?
Wait. Who said that?
Just started a baby and simulate
I
life.
did not see a video game about stress. Did you find one?
It's
Stress
oh my god.
explosion. Boss. Where's the paperwork, Jimmy?
I mean, that's what it is.
I
That's
hate
my
this
nightmare.
typewriter.
This,
Screw the
I've had this
typewriter.
dream. I've had this as
Oh,
a
yeah.
reoccurring
You see
dream.
that fax machine? Through that computer. Oh yeah.
Chuck it.
Nobody likes this game anyways.
Hate this shit.
Hey,
Gross.
Jacoby, is there a video game about water coolers?
Of course. Again, look, just typing on Steam. Water cooler.
No way.
You act like he has Steam.
I call Shania. Watch Steam let him down this time.
No, look at there.
Dang it,
There's
it's
water
come through every time.
pipeline. Look at all this water stuff. Glitch
Oh, yeah.
pets.
Yeah, but I said specifically water cooler, not just water cooler.
Yep.
I wonder how it would be. I
Oh,
mean,
wait,
There
later-
are
there
things
was-
that
wait.
simulates keeping things cold.
No, there was a water cooler one back in the day, I remember, but it was supposed to be a whodunit. So basically you stand at the water cooler and you talk with your teammate. It was a logic problem, and they only gave you certain snippets and you had to figure out who stole the stapler or who ate the donuts or what the fuck ever it was. But does that count as a water cooler game?
I don't think that counts. I'm talking about a video game about the water cooler. So, like I said, it has to literally be about the water cooler, not the water cooler as a prop. What you're describing is the water cooler as a prop.
Literally, you are the water cooler.
You are the water cooler.
Okay, you might have got something. Well, I mean, I thought about some dumb things. Like, I mean, one out there like the apple with wings. You know, like what is that? You know, bat apple.
I mean,
Apple?
that's Flappy Bird.
Oh, you're right.
Oh man, I remember that game. It was huge.
I
when it
still
came
have
out.
that game. I never deleted it off that thing. I freaking
Yeah,
love that game.
they tried to get everybody to delete it.
They try to get everybody to delete Flappy Bird just because it's so innocuous and on everybody's computer.
No, I think it
No.
was some copyrights.
Oh, copyright. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it got pulled, and then they tried to get everybody to delete it and all that, and I was like, that's what I did. I didn't delete it.
That's the noise that you made when they sent you the email.
Yeah, delete it. I was like,
You gotta add voices when you do things. It's all part of the process.
you got to make the sounds, and then you need to add
Mhm.
like at least 2 chins.
What did you ask me?
No. Otherwise, they don't know that you're serious.
It adds depth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like an
apparently,
exclamation
sorry.
point.
Oh,
Apparently, this is a class action lawsuit involving Sega. I didn't realize that there was a whole thing going on with rigging in arcade games, but I just pulled up articles of
Rigging?
things going on. It says that a class action lawsuit has alleged that entertainment giant, they use that other word, Sega, rigged one of its arcade games, Keymaster, so that it can only be won after a certain number of players have lost. Isn't that just about every game in the world?
if you go to
Yeah.
any casino or any game room,
Yeah.
they are all rigged.
Yeah, that's the
I mean,
algorithm.
breaking
That's literally
news.
what it is.
Yeah, there's I
How
forgot
are they
what.
going to win this case? I mean, I'm not a lawyer. How are they going to win this case? Because they're all rigged.
I mean, there was a YouTuber who actually did a whole science experiment on the machine where it gave out a particular number of tickets if you hit the light in between these two posts, and he actually had a robot push the button, or he created this robotic arm to push the button at the correct time where it was supposed to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it showed it that it's random, and he talked about how each game is built in a particular fashion because the house always wins for a reason.
Yeah.
Apparently, under the Arizona laws, dang, I wish I had known about this case before. I could have made a quick million. But apparently, under Arizona law, outside of casinos, it is illegal for gaming machines to have settings that permit an operator to alter the odds of participants winning the game, which basically,
Interesting. So that's because it was that state's law. That's why they are even able to do a class action lawsuit. Is that it?
that sounds what it is. It's that particular state's law, but it still sounds like to me, even in Arizona, they got to be all, rigged and set up. So I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to win. But they apparently, at least in the early part, because this is a new case, but at least in the other case, they settled and got some $1 million in money, because it says in 2019, the Arizona attorney found that Keymaster machines were gamified and settled with a company that had distributed them in Arizona for $1 million. So it sounds like this is more of a maybe national case, but they did lose already in Arizona. So now this one's in California.
Who lost? Sony lost?
Sega lost. Yes, Sega.
Or Sega? Wow.
Sega.
Since Mark is going on another show to do I just had an idea. This is going to be fun. Since Mark is going on another show to do his singing competition, I think it'd be fun. So, John, are you loaded into Rocket League?
I'm not. Is there any way before we do that, if we could do like a 10-minute, like I want to go, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
just like a quick little switch up. Do you mind if I stream it?
Stream all the way. This is gonna be
awesome. Cool.
Cool. Siren, you got to load into Rocket League too.
You want to play a little bit? You don't have to be good. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun because the best part is we're gonna put it on here, and Mark is gonna have to cast it or sports cast it.
Okay, I can do that.
See, it's gonna be exciting.
Shit.
Yeah. Put Mark on the spot so he can be a
I
sport.
like it. I can't play today, but maybe next week.
Well, that means that means you have to sportscast with Mark then.
What?
Ha
Crap on a cracker.
It's gonna be fun.
All right.
Exciting times.
I don't know how to play soccer though, so I'm not going to be a very good sportscaster. I'm going to be like, "There's a guy with a ball. Ooh, he's moving the ball.
That's fine.
That's the beauty of it.
I do want you to know that
I will
spend the entire time attempting to make as many innuendos to your balls as possible.
I hope you do.
That's fine.
As long as you're aware of that and everybody's cool, I'm going to make ball jokes pretty much the whole time.
That's the best part of it.
It's only gay if the balls touch.
Nah. It's not gay, it's your ball.
And
I'm
plus, we are all excited about two guys going after one ball. See,
I've seen that one.
That one is much better than two girls in one cup, though.
That's true.
You guys can play. I think next week we should, because I can't set up right now, but next week, let's do it. I'll set up and we can play for real. But do you guys play over? I know you sort of do. Do you play Overwatch ever?
Yeah. I don't have it downloaded, but I can install it. It's not hard.
Yeah. I mean, I suck at it still, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's okay.
if I play Rocket League with you and make a complete fool of myself, will you come play Overwatch with me and make a fool of
Yeah.
yourself so I can
That is a
redeem myself
deal.
a little bit?
Wait, does anybody
That
have
is
Knockout
a
City?
deal.
That's a fun one to play too sometimes.
Oh yeah, Knockout City is pretty cool.
It's
I don't have
dodgeball.
Knockout City.
It's literally just dodgeball. It's
Mhm.
Hey,
really fun, actually.
you told
Like,
me.
it's
I
just a
think y'all
fun
are
game
going
to
to get a
play.
kick out of this. Was typing up and looking up their, video games is all over the news, including apparently in Spokane, Washington, because they wrote an article apparently today that was put out that basically said, "Game on, it's okay to dislike a popular video game." So it's actually about disliking games because they became, either too popular or too annoying or whatever. And so the actual somewhere in the middle of the article has a great quote, which I think that y'all will enjoy. And I'm trying to find that and everything that because it talks about if anything, the fact that someone can dislike a whole swath of popular games and still consider themselves a gamer is testament to the incredible amount of variety present in the medium today. There are many
Yeah,
games
we
we
just
call
went
high
through that
scholars
going,
and
hey, look,
platformers
here's
today
a
in
memory game.
retrospect. But in the early 1990s, particularly everything under the sun fit the bill, including Super Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, Earthworm Jim, whatever the heck that is, Prince of
Yeah.
Persia,
It came
Oh,
out on
and
shit.
Sega
Pitfall.
Genesis. Was the
Right?
first
Yep.
time.
That's exactly
Earthworm
it.
Jim.
Yep.
I played
Along
it
with
religiously.
Battletoads.
Battletoads. Oh
Wait,
yeah.
what was the dolphin game?
Echo the Dolphin.
Echo. Thank you. I loved that one on Sega.
Echo was one of the hardest freaking games
It
ever.
was so hard. I loved it.
The craziest part is that it was so hard and frustrating, it was still peaceful.
Oh yeah, it was super
Yeah,
serene.
the music
You're
was
just
good. But do you know what I played religiously back then on Sega Genesis? I played NBA Jam until my
Oh, yeah.
fingers bled.
Till your fingers bled. Wow, you were playing that a lot.
Yep,
Hey,
that's
Jacoby,
right.
what is this game called Spelunky? Because they also said that
That's what's
in that time,
happening
indie
here.
games have taken off in popularity. The likes of Celeste, Terrari, something called Spelunky. And I'm sitting there going like, what is a Spelunky? I
It's
can't
a
even
game,
imagine
and I
what that
think
game
it's
is
also a
about.
term for like running
Spelunking is when you
naked
go
through
down.
the woods or something.
Let me see if I can
What?
pull it up real quick. I'll show you.
Yeah,
Spelunking is when you
there's
go
I hadn't
down a
played that
cave.
game ever.
Oh, is
Wait,
that
what?
what it?
Spelunking is
It
when
was-
you
yes, cave.
rappel down a cave.
I'm
It's
thinking of
not running
streaking.
naked.
My bad.
You my boy, Blue.
What a good movie, bro.
They actually interrupted a competition at Duke for that several years back. It was one of the worst nightmares, but there was actually somebody that literally in the middle of a track meet at Duke decided to try to streak across the screen and everything. And I remember that he missed the steeple jump because the steeple jump has the water things, and he tried to leap and he missed.
Also, why would you try to streak at a track and field event? Everyone there can run faster than you.
Yeah.
It made no sense to me.
Like, you're gonna get caught. Like, do it at a baseball game where none of them run fast. It's fine.
Eating competition.
Yeah. Dude, it's a hot
Nivix
dog
asked
eating
if anybody had played the Atari 2600 ET game. I did. I don't know if you guys have.
I played
I didn't.
Frogger,
No. I was gonna say
Pong.
ET was worse than any game.
Wait a minute, Pong?
It was worse than Pong. Pong had a point. ET had no purpose, no point.
You just wander around like Drew Barrymore?
You had basically 3 screens. There was one screen that had something that looked similar to a house. You had an open area, and then you had one area that had a spaceship. You have
you had to get from one to the other.
No idea. You walk back and forth. You push with the Atari, you had one red button in the joystick. You push the red button, the head would go up and down.
That was it?
That's it. It was the most frustrating thing you could ever do in your life. You're sitting there walking back and forth. Okay, what am I doing on this screen?
I like it. Great job, Steven Spielberg. Way to really cash in on that.
I thought Pong was the oldest and the first video game, but I just typed it up, and apparently it wasn't. There was something called Computer Space, and apparently the guy that founded the first video game had a tennis game, but they didn't mention that. But it was something called Computer Space, Galaxy Game, and the Magnavox. Boy, that's an old TV set. Odyssey game. They came out before Pong, so Pong apparently was the fourth one. And then there was something called Space Race, Grand
But
Track,
Pong was the first
Tank, and
console
Gunfight.
game. Pong was the first console game. Those are computer programs. So
Okay.
I think that's where the differentiation is. When people say first game, they mean like a standalone. All it did was a game, because those were computer programs. If
Because I
that
just
makes
typed in
sense.
10
I
oldest
don't know.
video games in the world, and that's when they brought up Computer Space, Galaxy Game, and Magnavox. But I hear what you're saying, Tyron, and that actually makes sense because I thought Pong was the first one too.
Because
But I
yeah,
just
I
typed
was
in.
trying to figure it out. I was like, I don't. How did this?
All right, well, guys.
But it's got to be in the definition.
I'm gonna hop off. Jacoby will play some Rocket League here soon. I'm gonna go take care of a couple things. Siren, Mark, always a pleasure, guys.
Always. Next
I should
week
see
we'll
y'all.
play.
Yeah.
Download Overwatch, and I'll be ready for next
All right,
week.
all right. I will. I still have BattleNet installed. I just don't have Overwatch installed.
All right.
All right. Later,
Ciao.
guys. I'll see you soon, Jacoby.
All right.
See ya. And apparently there was something created way back in 1950 called T the Brain. It was an arcade game, tic-tac-toe, and that was way back in 1950. So I guess technically that's an electronic game as well.
Where does Ultima fall in?
Ultima?
Because Ultima was no more than a program as well. That was just text.
Right. But you could. Ooh, I don't know. Where do text games fall into computer games? Because they are. I mean, that's where they were.
I mean, your RPGs. That's how they evolved.
Like Ultima was later because it says that Ultima
every
was.
MMO is basically based off of those at this point.
It says Ultima was like 79, so it looks like Ultima was in that middle range. But that's when it comes up on the Google search and everything. Says it was created by Richard Garrett in 1979, so it looks like it might have been maybe a year or two earlier.
Okay, because Ultima was that
I didn't even think about the text-based games. I totally spaced those. I would totally consider those video games 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
man,
the Ultima was that was a time taker. That was the original time taker because you would have to sit there and read a whole screen of text.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
And then some of them you're like, oh crap, it scrolls over. Now what?
Yeah,
you're just like, how do I make it scroll over? Is it over? Is it down? Did it disappear? I remember how finicky it would be when you try to put input things. If you spelled anything wrong, if there's an extra space or any of that kind of crap, when you would input your answers, don't miss that at all.
Yeah, that sounds very time consuming. But then again, Pong could take time forever and ever and again and a day.
Well, the text-based ones were nice because it was usually just like yes or no, and you usually just chose one. But
yes or no, and then they started adding. Remember, they started adding in the numbers.
That's what I was saying. You remember how finicky they were about that crap? Oh my! I totally forgot. Those are definitely video games, 100%.
Because technically speaking, because I guess they would fit in that same space. If you want to go into early history, I can see where people can make the argument that like those games that have like some electronic element to them that are not quite in the video game space could be considered earlier video games. Like I'm thinking of like those push button games like Trouble and things of that nature, or even like the Ouija board kind of games technically can be considered a version of video games because you have like some elements that are similar to the video games. But I don't know what y'all's thoughts are. Y'all are more in that space.
Well, I mean, I would say portable gaming has been around forever. I mean, we have the like the magnetic crap.
And
even like electronic football could be considered technically a portable video game.
Yep.
Even though technically that magnet always kept the players always huddled at the same spot. It's not like you really could develop plays like you can on the real video games now because the plays were never going to be designed right.
No, you were never developing.
Did you see, I don't know how often you go to McDonald's, but you've got kids too. So like 6 months ago or something, or maybe a year ago, they had little video games in their freaking
in like the packages?
Happy Meals. In the Happy Meals. They were those little analog
Tamagotchis.
Yeah, but they were like individual games. It freaked me out. I was like, how the hell are they getting better video quality, like individual video game console thingies on a keychain than I mean.
Yeah.
I'm just bitter and old.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go into that person.
Back in my day,
Back in my day,
we had
to
a
walk up a
one
hill.
joystick. One button, and that was it.
Yeah.
God, I was super bitter.
You know, that's what happened when they're doing like the virtual reality AR video games. I mean, I know they're out there now, but when they're like the prevalent thing, because there's the cost factor now and everything, and like Jacoby's kids are going like describing what they're playing in their video games when they're having their kids, and Jacoby goes into what y'all just described. He's like, back in my day, I remember playing.
When I was your age, we had to walk uphill both ways in order to play our one-button joystick game.
That only had 4 colors on the screen.
Because you know
You
could
don't know
exaggerate
how lucky
as
you
well,
are.
Jacoby. Because you know you could be exaggerated. It's gonna be like, we only had, instead of the laptop being the size it is now, that thing was as big as the house.
Yeah.
And it literally was.
It was, right? Holy crap. We found one at my dad, at my grandma's house when she moved. She moved to like a condo area thingy. Went through all of her crap. She had one of those brick laptops. You remember those?
Yep.
That remind me of the Zach from Saved by the Bell cell phone, but I did not remember how dense they are. They're like cast iron. They are so heavy. I have no idea what makes them that heavy, but I kind of like wanted to drop it just to see.
To see if it breaks the ground.
Yeah, would it shatter or would the concrete? Because I'm not really sure.
No, you remember the TRS-80?
Yeah,
they
that's
had
what
the giant cartridge in the side.
Yep.
And you had to plug it into a giant monitor that was.
But how much fun was the cartridge?
Oh yeah.
I always loved that. I do. So much as I love gaming, I miss that. I miss cartridges. I miss like holding a physical game.
So I will admit the one thing that that I do not miss though, there are a couple of things. Nintendo's cartridge, the NES cartridge. Yeah, I hated that because then you had to blow it, and then sometimes even when that didn't work, you put it like right at the edge, and then have to jam it in just chunk.
And you always knew when you were at somebody else's and putting in their game at their house because theirs was always a little bit different. Like you're used to putting your game in a certain way, and you go to someone else's house and you'd have to like finagle it because everyone was like a little bit different.
And evidently somebody wrote an article, I have to find it, and they said that it was a myth that blowing the cartridge didn't do anything to the cartridge. I'm like, come on now. It didn't work unless I blew one.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could say that all day long, but I know what worked. Yeah.
We know what works and what doesn't work. We filled the last challenge. So I got another challenge for y'all this time in the video game space.
Mark, hold on. The other one though that was that I really hated, besides the cartridge one, was the PlayStation 1, the disc, how you had to flip the PlayStation itself upside down to actually get the disc to play.
Yeah, why was that though? Because they came back and explained it, didn't they? It was something with the laser or some shit. But I remember when people figured it out. Do you remember like the excitement when they were like, "Oh shit, you just turned it over," and everyone was like, "Tell your friend." This was before the internet like was a thing. So everybody was just like screaming it on the rooftop. Just turn it over. It works great.
See the struggles we went through, Mark?
All kinds of struggles. That's what I was going to ask you is that we couldn't figure out a video game that doesn't exist, even though that's still out on the table for those that are watching, a video game that doesn't exist that we wanted to have created. What is something in the video game space that folks would like to have happen that isn't out there in terms of innovation? So is there something out there, like I know there's all the talk around VR, AR, and all of this other kind of stuff, but is there something that y'all are thinking like, wow, I really wish we had that in the video game space?
Well, that's a tough one.
Oh, that's a big one. Macro,
I mean, the haptic suits are there.
Right?
Either both micro and macro.
So you're going macro. You're thinking big tech. Because I was thinking stuff like technology-wise, I want better processing chips. I want less. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking that kind of stuff. I want a more affordable, higher hertz monitors that are going to be available for people. I want better mouses. I want, You know, the 5
SSD
gigahertz
cards.
instead of 2.4 gigahertz mice, the
Yep.
wireless stuff. Get rid of Bluetooth. Start using those. Dongles are where it's at. Why do we not have 5 gigahertz? Why is it still 2.4 only? That's so stupid.
I want that. So evidently that PlayStation technology that they use for the SSD card is unreal. So I want those SSD cards for even desktops.
Yes.
Right.
I want that same technology, that same speed.
Yep. And ease of portability and changing and extension and all of that. I mean, the SSD cards make it, I mean, possibilities are endless, you know?
Yeah. The same thing. However, one of my wants is actually coming to fruition was that Xbox Series X fridge.
Okay.
Shut up. They're making a fridge?
Yeah, they're making a fridge. I did hear
the
that.
big joke. Last year was the big joke when they released it. They said it looked like a little mini fridge. So it became a contest, and the mini fridge idea won the contest. And so Xbox is releasing the Xbox Series X mini fridge later this year.
No way. Are you kidding me? I have to have one.
I need one.
I can see that, and I don't even play the video games, but I would like the fridge with a video game. But you know, I don't drive, and that's I've said that a couple times on a variety of shows and everything. But that being said, and I know that I'm probably going to create all kinds of accidents and everything, but what about the possibility of, say, video games on either mass transit or cars? Because I don't see a lot of people doing that much video games in cars. I'm sure they exist, but I don't see that much of them.
What do you mean mass transit or in cars?
Well, like, are you talking about like kids in the back and then like people on subways?
Right, like there'll be video games, one on the subway or the bus, and then literally the video game has got like a terminal on the bus that they can play the video game there on the bus and everything. So almost like the cafe, the internet cafe, but on a moving.
You're talking about like on an airplane, right? How on airplanes they have it where you can play games, you just plug right in. Got ya. Well,
and I was also asking how much of that is in, because I'm not a driver. So I'm saying, I know when I'm in my brother's car, I don't see that many video games in cars. So how much of the video games in actual moving vehicles are there?
Well, the tough part,
that one I like. I love that. Yeah. That is so needed right now. High-speed internet is so hard, especially for gaming. Anyone who wants to game, it's one thing to have a decent down speed. That's hard enough to find. But the flip is you still need a good up speed to get a good ping time. So, I mean, if your ping is 120 because your up speed is 2, megabits a second or some crap, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. I love that. I'm a huge fan of that idea.
Although Google Fiber just sent me an email saying that I can get the 2 gig, because right now I got the 1 gig up and down for Google Fiber. Now I can get 2 gig up and down.
Oh,
and what were you saying?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't even know at 1 versus 2 gigs. Would you even be able to notice?
No, because
there's
nothing.
What I mean?
I mean, I don't have enough equipment in the house to even touch the 1 gig.
Yeah.
So having a 2 gig is pointless.
I do not understand that. That's cool though. That means as my assumption is that kind of stuff is for like as all the 4K and 8K videos get higher and higher and higher, as those become more and more prevalent on like Netflix and stuff like that, you would need to be able to download that much at a time just to be able to buffer through those higher res videos.
Yep.
It's the only thing I can think of. Why would you need 2 gigs? That's intense.
Yeah, but even with the high rate, like the 4K videos and everything else, with 1 gig, unless I'm running those 4K videos on
every computer,
every computer, every TV in the house.
Well, like, let me put it to you this way. I have the 1 up, 1 down as well. Myself, my husband, and my son all play Overwatch at the same time, and 2 of them stream at the same time, and we don't touch it. Like, my youngest can still play if he wants, and we can still watch Netflix, and we're not close to that 1 gig. Like, I don't know.
Right now I have 2 computers one set up for, well, I've got 3 computers, but 2 computers right now. One of them, this one here, is doing the stream to StreamYard, also streaming out to the other areas. This one here is playing a game, has Rocket League on set up. It's also streaming to StreamYard.
Yep.
And I've got my daughter in the other room. Yeah, and the capture card. And my daughter in the other room sitting there on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I can turn on the TV and have the 4K Netflix coming down, watching Love, Death, Robots, which is freaking awesome.
I love the 3 little robots on the deserted planet where she's always taking pictures. Oh my gosh, she's my favorite.
Well, the one that freaked me out in those episodes was the one where the guy got trapped in space.
No, not trapped in space.
Where she had to rip her arm off?
No. The one where he got trapped in space because they went off on a different the actual path they were supposed to go on, and they went into their sleep pattern. The ship veered off of that and got trapped.
Is this a new?
No, this was. So there are only 2 seasons, and it was.
There are 2 seasons.
Yeah, only 2 seasons.
But you've only seen season 1.
Yeah. So in season 1, I think it was episode 3. I think that's the one I'm talking about. But yeah, they were trapped in space.
So it was season 1. I gotta check. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I remember like the werewolf one. I remember.
I like the werewolf one.
I like that one a lot. It made me cry.
Did you cry at the werewolf? How dare you cry at the werewolf?
Because he was a werewolf soldier, and his like he was a military guy, and they show him in like Kandahar, and the other soldiers are mean to him because they're werewolves, and it's him and another guy, and they run scout and they sniff out like the what are they, EDIs? No, EMI, the bombs. They smell out the bombs, IEDs, and then they smell out if anybody's coming. Well, they get ambushed, and one of them dies, and he's the only one who's sad. Nobody cares. They keep calling him a dog, and they don't care that he died, even though he was a troop. And so the other werewolf drops his dog tags and walks off into the desert. He's like, "Why would I? You don't even care that my best friend died. We died for you."
That's very sad.
It made me. I just like, I can't do this. Why? You know, like
Cyril was having one of her moments that just identified with the werewolf and everything.
Yeah,
I understand. I don't even follow the show, and just your description, I was feeling for the werewolf. So you did a really good job of selling the story because I was feeling the same thing. I was like, Cyril's having this emotional moment. I can relate to poor werewolves.
Right?
So the thing about Love, Death, Robots, there are, I forget how many episodes are in season 1. I think they're 15 or something like that, and they're only 10 or 8 in season 2. Yeah, and they're really short,
and they're all computer generated.
Yep, none of them are connected.
What's really crazy is some of those, and Jacoby, back me up on this. You forget by the end. I mean, I'm halfway through some of those, and I'm like, these are real people. I forget that some of those are so good. The computer because some of them they like the robot one obviously is not made to be realistic, but there's one with mechas. The chick is in a mecha suit and she's a soldier in a war in a space war or whatever. But it's so hyper realistic because they use the motion capture suits. They even showed in a behind the scenes, them doing the facial one too. So, I mean, it is hyper realistic. And about halfway through that one, I was just like, wait, are these real people? Or because even like some of the voice actors in that one, like you'll be like, oh, I remember that dude from such and such show. And the character looks like him. So it gets a little meta where you're just like, wait, it is still computer animated, right?
Yeah.
They did a great job.
They do a phenomenal job with that, and the storytelling.
So get out of my head.
Season 1 is everything is death at the end.
Yeah.
But season 2, they try and end on a happier note on many of them.
Really?
Yeah. So I wasn't. I mean,
dropped. I'm so excited.
It wasn't. it wasn't a super, but I think they did it similar to how Black Mirror did it, where it's not super happy, but you're okay with it. It's like,
Yeah.
But the other one, I think it was season 1, where you had the Russian soldiers, where they had the horde that was coming after them.
Yes.
And there was no way, there's nothing they could do.
Oh,
That
what was
one
the
was.
well
I
for
like
me
that
from
one.
Oklahoma? The one that got me real good is the.
I know which one you're trying to say. The
in
farm.
the future, the farm. So growing up on a farm, we have a lot of coyotes that come through that'll break through the tree line, right? So it is not uncommon living on a ranch to just hop on the 4-wheeler, grab your 22, or grab a rifle and just run out there 30-30, and you kind of take them down. And so the video starts like that. They're on this quiet farm. It's an older woman, older man. He's drinking his coffee. It's real early. It's like chickens, chickens and stuff. It's like, well, it's like we're gonna have to go out. I see a break, and you start realizing it's in the future. The break is aliens. They're not coyotes. They're aliens, and they have these giant mecha suits as farmers that they fight them off with. It's super cool. To me, it's the futuristic version of what I grew up with, but there's sacrifice and death, and it's so beautiful though. Oh gosh, I love that show. If any of you have not watched it, they're 10 minutes long. You have to watch it. It's a have to.
Wow.
Do it.
It sounds fascinating.
John.
Hey,
John, have you seen it? Can you hear me? John, can you hear me? You can't hear me. Ooh.
It's almost that time too. Ooh, didn't mean to.
It's almost that time, you said?
It's almost that time for the two of you to go and actually talk about the game.
Unfortunately, it's going to be one. I just realized we're at time.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2. That's why we got to rush through it now.
No, I mean,
she's got something she's got to do.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. I didn't even realize what time it was. I was having so much fun. I didn't even see it. And then my freaking alarm thing went off, said 5 minutes, and I was like, uh-oh. So.
And just in case folks were bored, I was going to let it, before Siren gets out of here, it's actually the last scene from Ben. So if you want to actually click on that, we can play the last scene from Ben, and you can actually see the rat, because I've actually dug that up and everything. So that's actually the last scene from Ben and everything. So if folks are interested, I can actually click play, and we can actually see the rat, because this is the last scene from the movie.
Because I was going to say before Siren, well, yeah, we'll go ahead and do this, and then we'll go ahead and jump right into the game. Although
the rat. Oh, are you going to die, child? Yeah. And it's in the 70s. Child's going to kill something then, maybe.
It's all quiet. He walks into the room.
Oh, man.
That's a nice little room he has there with the little dartboard.
Yeah.
Tell me any room a child that age has is that tidy. I call fucking shenanigans. Oh, it's not his room. Maybe that's why it's so clean. Is that the rat?
That's the rat. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
That looks like a squirrel.
Oh, that looks like a squirrel.
Yeah,
oh, John's back. I don't know if you guys can hear him.
Yo, John, what up?
There's the rat. He found Ben. He's happy again.
What's up, guys?
Oh, yo.
How we doing?
Can you guys hear John?
The last scene of Ben the Rat, yo. It's as weird as you think. Everything.
Oh, we're on the last scene of Ben the Rat right now.
Yeah.
You want to? You can finish it. I'll just do some training.
He's trying to save
warm
Ben.
up while Ben is on.
Yeah, because Ben's working on the rat right now. He put a Q-tip on the rat. I guess that's blood on the back of the rat.
He's trying to save the rat.
All our own rats now.
Yeah.
I love that we're trying to save the rat that kills people. I'm in.
Yeah,
I love this kid.
You gotta love the Michael Jackson music in the background.
Oh my
Being
goodness.
sung by Michael Jackson.
I cannot believe that this was produced or
God.
the producer was Bing Crosby. The theme song is Michael Jackson, and the end scene is a rat staring at me in the eyeballs. What just happened?
Yeah.
Okay, then. All right, I have to head, but thank you so much, guys. Next week we play. I'm in.
All right, next week is Rocket League. We're gonna play Siren, and then after that, we're playing some Overwatch.
Yeah, so redemption song. All
and
right.
then we're going to get signed by esports agents because we're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the goal. That is my goal.
It's
All
a
right,
great
I'll see you
goal.
guys.
See you,
Have
Sarah.
fun.
All right, Mark, it's on you. It is.
Yeah,
on
but where's
you.
where's the other competitor? I see you, but where is Mr. John at?
John's right there. He's the green one.
Just
Yeah, but I didn't see him on the screen. I was looking for him where you are. Like,
Oh no.
because that makes it easier and everything. So I got to do some color commentating. So which one are you again? Is that you that's behind John right there?
Yep, John's all the way down that way.
All right, now he's going off to the corner. We've got Toby. He's trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, he's got the ball. Which way is it going? It's a 1-0 game, and I think that Jacoby is down. Are you down, Jacoby? Because I just started commenting, so I'm.
No.
Oh, he's up. He's up. Oh, he's up 2-0. John, you are actually getting like lit in this game. You are down 2-0, and Jacoby has got the ball. He is actually going for another goal. Is he going to score? But no, we got another no score this time. We're still 2-0 and all of that. So we're going to try again. I don't know why John is losing. John's supposed to be a masterful player. I heard that he's the LeBron James of this sport, but he is down 2-0.
No,
and
John and I are we're on the same team.
Well, that's what I just asked you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't hear him as well.
Yeah, 3-0, and they're on the same team. So we're going for the assist. That was, see, I could go the Phoenix version. So we got Jacoby passing the ball over to Chris Paul. So Jacoby is playing the role of Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is looking for an assist to CP3 because we got CP3 being played by John. And by the way, they are up 3-0. They've decided to go into soccer because they were tired of the NBA, and they're going to play soccer instead. So Jay Crowder has got the ball, and he's trying to hand it off to Jacoby and everybody. So wait a minute, they've decided to totally change sports. They are winning 3-0, so they have figured out that they did not have to make all that money in the NBA, making those millions of dollars. But Jacoby / CP3 has decided that he's going to go into soccer and make millions of dollars there. And of course, we're glad to have it here on the Pod TV / IBM TV / the International Broadcast Media, where we're going to be doing this on a regular basis. Because apparently we're going to be starting to cover Olympic sports. Don't ask me how and don't ask me why, but that's what we're going to start doing and everything. So we've got things going on. And we've got a fascinating game going on. Right now, they are killing the opponents. It is a 3-0 match. It's a great precision going on as they pass the ball back and forth and everything. So I don't even think this is much of a contest. I think we're heading into 2:33, 2:36, heading down on the clock. So they are working together in tandem, in precision, and it is wonderful. As a matter of fact, they just scored again. It is a 4th goal. This is a slaughter. This is better than any of the games that have been in the team so far. So we are up 4-0, and this is a true slaughter going on here. I do not even think this game is going to be close. I'm expecting the score to be 7-0 at the rate that they're going, but they've got 2:31 to score some more goals and everything. I think the other team is not even trying anymore. It's kind of like Giannis when he goes out for those outside threes. They just scored again. Good grief. It's 5-0. So like I said, I think the other team is using the Giannis follow of going into defense and offense, because while he goes back for those 3-pointers when he knows that the inside is his game makes no sense to me at all. And I think Jacoby would agree with me on that. But the series in that series is tied, but this series is not tied. We're up 5-0, and I'm expecting, like I said, it could be 7-0 at the rate they're going, because the other team apparently does not believe in offense, and they also don't believe in defense. Matter of fact, not even sure they're on the court, because they're just dragging them down on a regular basis. So I think that what we've got going on here, and Jacoby, when did y'all decide to play the Little Leagues? Because like I said, I think we got the pros against the Little League going on right now because this is not even close.
Play offense. Okay.
I mean, are they going for another goal? This is like ridiculous because this is just a total slaughter going on here. Oh, there's another score. It is 6-0. This is a spanking, folks. We are witnessing a true spanking here and everything. So I'm not even sure if the other team is bothered to play. As a matter of fact, oh, did they get a goal or did somebody else score? Nope, it's still 6-0. This is a true spanking going on here, and I don't even know that the other team. As a matter of fact, I think Jacoby and John, I'm about to call the other team's bus and tell them that they should just come and pick up the team because they're getting spanked and this game is basically needs to be called. You know, sometimes you got to call the game. So I'm calling them, telling them to call the bus, bring the bus to the field because this game is over already. You're not coming back from 6-0 with 1:21 to go. So this game is over, and it's a total slaughter. It's 7-0. Yes, this game is totally over. This is a true slaughter. I've called the bus in. They're picking up the other team. They're like, no, we're going to go head back to, I think they picked up this other team from Lithuania. So they're going to head back to Lithuania on a long trip and all of that. So it's been a total slaughter, and it's 7-0 of total madness here going on.
He's like, you go to Lithuania.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. Oh, it's 8-0. Good grief. As the goal. Oh, I hear the goalie went for lunch. The goalie went for lunch, so he was giving up. Defeat by forfeit. Yes, that was not even close.
Played Lithuania. Okay, who we're gonna play this time, Mark? Who we're gonna play this time?
Oh, look, y'all beat the heck out of that last opponent. What are your choices?
We're playing Victory Ghost Club.
The Victory Ghost Club, and I think that they're going to come from Finland.
And we're Team Blue. They're fucked.
Mark, we're the blue team. They're the orange team.
You're the blue team this time.
Yep, we're the blue team.
All right. And you're going up against Finland in the orange. And all right, they've got the ball there. Yep. I hope that this game better than the last game. The last game was not a competition at all. It was a total slaughter. And, you know, this is actually the playoff series. So they are only up 1-0 and everything. So actually, this is a round robin maybe. So they're going up against Finland this time. And let's hope that this game is much better than the last one. It's already starting out a lot better because at least this team is being competitive. We haven't had a score yet, and we're already half a minute into the game. So it does look like this game is going to be much more competitive than the last one. And I'm actually seeing defense in this game and seeing some nice fancy passing, some good defense, some good kind of cutoffs and all of that. So this is actually looking like a very competitive game. Matter of fact, somebody had a shot on goal and missed it. So definitely it's looking like we might have an actual battle going on this time. So they might actually have to bring their A game. John and Jacoby are going to have to bring their A game. Unlike last time, where I think they brought, heard of bringing the B game, the C game, the D game. They didn't even bring any game because the other team didn't show up because the other team was like not even in the game whatsoever. So this time they've got to bring their A game and really bring it to them. But right now we've got a match. It's still 0-0. Nobody has scored. There's only been one shot on goal so far. So it definitely looks like we've got a battle going on here, even though that was close to the goal. But now we're almost halfway through here, and these two are added big time. So I think we've got a true match going on. I've seen some great blocks, some great passing going on here and all of that. A whole lot of crashing and driving around the edge and all of that. So definitely keep it going. It looks like it's a true contest. We're still at 0-0 with about 3:18 to go, and they are just going back and forth, back and forth. I think that John is communicating with Jacoby. They're trying to get in those crevices and get a good shot, but the other team is actually playing. Like I said, those last kids, and I did say kids, because I think that they were from Lithuania, but they were from the kindergarten at Lithuania, so it was no contest whatsoever. So, this time
with their education. Only next to their clothes, they didn't have shoes.
Yeah. But at least this is a match. We had 0-0, and we're still going back and forth. Nobody has scored a goal at all. But this is wonderful. I hear that Jacoby and John are doing some great communication. They're trying to get it to work and trying to get something to go that they can actually get a shot on goal and try to take the lead. But nothing. Oh, there we go. We got a score. Somebody is up 1-0. They are up 1-0 and have taken a lead. Now let's see if they can build on the lead, or if the other team is going to make a tie and everything. Oh, what do we got going on here? Was that another score? No, that was a block. So definitely looked like we're going to make a move and have something going on. But no,
that was mine.
that was you. All right.
My bad.
Oh, they scored. There was. Oh, they have matched up. I told you, this team is coming. They are coming. They have come to play. We are all tied up again at 1-1. But right now, we've got another score going on. Which team scored that time? Up, still 1-1. So we're still stuck at 1-1 in the match and everything. I think that this game may actually be a game of equal proponents and everything. Toby does not know this, but I think that this other team is being managed by Nick and Kim. So, the leaders of the network are going up against the Toby and John. So they actually are not wanting to be embarrassed, since they are the ones that are actually putting on this show on the Pod TV network. So at least they're trying to make it competitive. So it looks like we've got a 1-1 score going on, and the management is going up against the folks here that is Jacoby and John. It doesn't look like they're backing down. It looks like they are ready to give it a true match and all of that. So definitely it looks like things are going on. As a matter of fact, I heard Nivix in the stand. He was yelling for the team to make a score and was even telling them where the pass should be going to and everything. But they're so intense, so into the battle, that they didn't hear a word of what Nivix was saying. Nivix is actually serving as one of their assistant coaches. He tried to give them a clear play, the alley-oop for the goal, and they miscommunicated and didn't get the play in time. So we're still stuck at 1-1 and all of that. So it's still at 1-1. I understand that at some point they may be getting a communication from their coach, Coach Kara, and Kara will be trying to help them with a play design to get the winning score, because we've only got a minute and 5. We may be heading into a tie game, and I'm not sure in this game if there is overtime or anything of that nature. But right now, we might just be heading into a tie, because we've got 54 seconds to go, and this is intense. So we've got definitely passes going back and forth. There's all kinds of communication going on. I am seeing that Nick tried to make an end around on Jacoby and all of that, but it didn't work. So we've still got this battle going on, and it looks like about 38 seconds ago, 37, I'm seeing all kinds of beautiful passing going on, but nobody's making scores at the goal. They are actually intercepting it, and we've got less than 30 seconds to go. And it's still a 1-1 battle. So is anybody going to claim the title in this game? Because the last time they went against the kids from Lithuania, those kindergarten kids, and just slaughtered them. But the guys from Finland who are actually managed and running the operation from the folks that run this network, Nick and Kim, they are hanging in there in a tight battle. So it is 1-1, 4, 3, 2, 1. It looks like this is going to end in overtime, or we're going into overtime. So we do not have a winner yet. And we've got to figure out if it's going to be a single overtime or a double overtime, or how many overtimes we're going to have. But we are in the middle of an overtime match, and definitely it's going to be interesting to see if anybody can pull it off. I'm thinking that this is a sudden death overtime. So if anybody scores, that is going to win the game. But right now, it is intense. I'm talking, it is all kinds of communication going back and forth between the players and the radios. They are talking to each other, trying to feel each other out, trying to figure out if they can get a shot on goal and get this winning score. Because right now it's overtime, and it is tight. It is very tight. I have seen all kinds of beautiful passes, all kinds of blocks, and things of that nature. As a matter of fact, one of those blocks looked like it was almost something that Giannis did in the last game that was going on between Phoenix and the Milwaukee Bucks. So Giannis had that amazing pin down, and that was similar to what I just saw Jacoby do, and he just slapped the heck out of that pass from Nick. So it's been tight and a half, and it's very tight, but it looks like we still got just a little bit of time going on, and we're still in overtime, still stuck at a 1-1 score. 1-1 is the score. It is tight. It is very tight here, and definitely. Oh wow, they are just intense going on here. But we do not know if we can get a winner in this match or not. They have learned and definitely saw how they were a wonderful team and all of that. I think Jacoby is preparing for the Olympics this year because racquetball will be the new Olympic sport and everything. So he's preparing, he's getting ready. And I understand that even though they're on the same team, I have heard rumors in the rumor mill that John has been drafted from the team from Turkey. So he may be defected to Turkey very nearly. Because I've heard rumors that he got drafted and that he's looking to add defected to that team and actually becoming their star. But right now they're working together. They're definitely trying to get this victory and all of that. But yes, John might be playing for Turkey, even though it is my understanding that Serbia is also trying to get him, as is the team from Israel, because they've heard that he's an amazing player. So there's a whole contest going on as to who can get John's great skills, because he's got an amazing skill set and everything. You know that actually Jacoby owns the team, so he cannot actually be part of these trades and everything. So he's not part of the trades, but definitely there's some teams that are making offers to Jacoby and trying to pick him up. And like I said, I've heard that Turkey's in the conversations, Serbia's in the conversation, as is Israel. And there's a dark horse candidate. He may be joining the team from Chile. So he may be joining the team from Chile as well. So they're like 4 folks that are trying to pick up John's skill set and all of that. As a matter of fact, maybe we'll distract John and see if we can get one of our roving reporters to go down there. Oh, did we have to score? Oh, they scored and they won in overtime. It was an overtime victory, an amazing overtime victory. So we're going to go down to the field and have a conversation with John now that they have won and everything. So we're going to go down there and have a conversation with John. John, what was it that led to the victory? That was an amazing game. Y'all had a great victory. So I want to know what led to the victory. And what's this I'm hearing about the possible trades that you may be being picked up by a team from Chile and Turkey. So I'd love to hear your reflections, 1, on the game, and 2 of these trade rumors that I'm hearing.
So, John, you going to Chile and Turkey?
Yes, at the same time.
Oh, you're going there. That's right. So you signed one of those interesting deals. So you're going to spend half the year in Chile and the other half at Turkey. Cool. I like that. It's a great deal. You worked on an amazing deal. But what was the key to the victory? That's always what they ask the players, and I'm always fascinated when they give that same answer, even in the NBAs. But, John, what was the key to the victory?
Raw skill.
Raw skill. It's that raw skill. You can't beat it. It's just saying that he's had this raw skill all the time.
Bull really came out when we needed him the most, and I'm really happy with the overall performance.
I like that you were happy with the overall performance. Do you think that y'all have a good chance in the rematch? I understand that this is a rematch that y'all are part of now. So do you feel that you've got a good chance in the rematch, or are you worried about this opponent? Because, that first game y'all had, y'all just blew them out, and the last game was a very intense and very competitive. So are you worried as you're driving around about this opponent?
None at all, sir. I am currently shining my little trophy that I built earlier today, just as a replica to get ready to hold it. I've been in the mirror for at least 20 minutes in intervals of 30 minutes. So I am ready.
The math on that is amazing. You've been in front of the mirror for 20 minutes in intervals of 30 minutes. That's awesome.
Nobody said that athletes had to be mathematically inclined, so I thought he did wonderful with that math.
That was awesome.
And y'all up 1-0 again. So now the team is 2-0 in these matches, and it looks like they're heading to the gold medal round. So this is actually the gold medal round and everything. So it looks like they are going to. Oh, the gold medal round, and they got tied again. This is intense. This is another intense battle. So right now they are tied. They had to lead for a few seconds, but it is gone now. And did somebody else score again? Is this the first time? No, those other scores. So we're still stuck at 1-1 and everything. So definitely a very intense match here with about 4-11, 4-10. I wonder if we're going to head to another overtime match. Remember the last time these teams went to each other, it was an overtime match and all of that. But right now they're up 2-1. Actually, I'm glad that they got that score. So we got to go down to the field. And while John is spanking them, we're going to try to do something that oftentimes I'm trying to figure out why the reporters even bother doing it. But was that another one? Nope. Hey, John, you're in the middle of this game, and it's a great game, and you're really doing a great job and all of that. So I think that you've got this game won, even though you're only up by 1 point and everything. So I'm still trying to figure out, and maybe you can explain to me in the middle of the game, because that's what crazy reporters do and everything, is why did you book the Lithuanian kindergarten team, which is that first team that y'all spanked and everything? So I'm still trying to figure out why y'all even booked that one, because these last two opponents have been very intense. So, Mr. Johns, we've got the mic in the car and everything as they're going back and forth, and him and Jacoby are going into battle, but he's still got the mic in the car, so he can answer us. Why did you book that team as y'all just went up 3-1, which was that Lithuania elementary school? I think they were kindergarten kids that y'all booked, that y'all won 8-0. So what was the purpose of that exhibition game?
They do a good rendition of Baby Got Back.
So you just had to get down just so y'all could hear that rendition of that particular song. I definitely understand that. Now, that makes a lot of sense. And by the way, y'all are up 3-1, and it's looking like y'all are going to head into the gold medal round. Well, actually, this is the gold medal round. It looks like y'all are going to head to the victory in this round and take that medal. I think it might take you another 40 minutes to scrub down this medal if you continue this victory and everything. But, the other team still got about 3 minutes to try to catch y'all. But right now, y'all are up 3-1 and looking like y'all are in good control of this game as y'all are going back and forth. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to figure out, is there a version of, y'all are up 4-1, is there a version of the four corners in this game? Because Rocket League, can you go into a four corners defense? Because, we're here in the Carolinas, and we know four corners is very effective and is a wonderful thing. It was actually created here in the Carolinas. So definitely, Jacoby, as we got the mic in your car as well, is there such a thing as a four corners? And are you thinking about going into that? Because you're up by 3 goals with 2:55 to go.
I mean, four corners takes 4 cars. We only have 3.
Point taken.
So we will do a triangular.
We'll do the best we can.
You'll do a triangle version of the four corners.
We have a Phantom Mobile.
The Phantom Mobile, they're going to pass it back and forth and try to just milk out this victory, because it looks like they're heading to that gold medal win. Because right now they're up 5-1, and it's just another spanking. As a matter of fact, I thought it was bad enough in that other game where they were going up against the owners, but this looks like this could be another total spanking. As a matter of fact, they're up 5-1. Last time they were playing the kids from Lithuania, the Lithuania kindergarten team, and this time I believe that they're going up against the team from Costa Rica, and I think it's the Costa Rican pre-kindergarten kids. So they're not even going up against kindergarten kids. It's the Costa Rican pre-kindergarten kids that they're up 5-1, which really doesn't say much for the Lithuanian kindergarten kids, because at least these kids got a goal and they're pre-kindergarten. So definitely that's
Puerto Rican kids. They celebrate days that end with Y.
That's what it is. They celebrate with days that end in Y, so they're able to get away with at least getting 1 goal and all of that. But definitely, it's not much of a contest. It's 5-1. Yeah, I think this one's over. So they're heading into winning the gold medal round, and definitely looks like they're going to be having a great contest. There is a major issue, and I understand that they're having communications back in the car and everything, because I understand that both Jacoby and John want to get the most valuable player award, and they both scored equal amounts of goals and everything. So there may be some serious conversation after the game, because they both want to shine that medal and get the gold medal and all that. So they just scored, by the way. It's 5-2, but I still think that y'all got it handily won and all of that. So, Jacoby, how are y'all going to decide who gets the most valuable prize, and which one of y'all is going to shine the most? Because, John shined that last award, and he spent all kinds of mathematically impossible things while he was doing that and everything. But Jacoby, I'm thinking that you might want to get the most valuable player, but John's already playing it for himself.
Mark, Nivix is saying that you're going to field the team from Boca Raton.
I did spend some time in Boca Raton. So, Nivix, are you going to be on my team, and are you coaching me as well? So you can be the coach / other player, and if that's the case, then yes, we'll have the Boca Raton team come in and represent it as well. So I have to get this.
Sounds like a pasta dish. Oh, you got that Boca Raton? Dude, it's delicious with fries.
Pasta dish with fries. John, that just sounded disgusting in and of itself. A pasta dish with fries.
You're absolutely right. I was in the middle of Rocket League and my brain just went.
6-2, and they're up, and definitely 31 seconds, and we're waiting to find out if Nivix is ready to both beat the owner of the team as well as my cohort on the other squad. So definitely less than 30 seconds to go, and it looks like the gold medal round is pretty much over, and it's just an amazing game going on here, but it looks like another spanking has happened here as well. So definitely we got just folks stalling and trying to milk out these last 13 seconds. 13, 12, 11, 10. Matter of fact, we'll just count it down. Jawbreaker just scored, so it's 7-2. And so it looks like this game is pretty much over, but we got 10 seconds. They still got to work it out just in terms of the clock and all of that. But the game is over. So definitely it's not even a contest at this point. So definitely.
I'd like to order now the steak and pizza combo.
You want to do what?
We got the Boba Return with French fries and pasta. I want the steak and pizza.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Well, that was my fun at being a color analyst, and as you can tell, I'm really bad at it, particularly with a game that I'm not all that great at. But y'all were really killing those other teams, and there was like some serious slaughters going on there and everything else. But we also gave them the rat, just in case they needed to hear Michael Jackson singing Ben and everything. So that was fun as well, and it looked like Ben lived. So Ben, the horror rat, got to live because the nice little kid rescues his life and everything. So I think you might have missed that, John, or just caught the tail end of it. But I did pull up the video from the Ben movie, and it showed the young kid saving Ben's life.
Oh, yeah, I turned in and was immediately traumatized.
Were you immediately traumatized when you saw the rat?
Yep. I called my therapist. I was like, you're going to have to increase it 3 days a week, brother.
It just be one day. It's got to be 3 days because you saw the rat and Ben just traumatized you totally. And you saw the little kid with the hair and everything. And you're going like, oh, my life is not the same anymore.
It's not. You were absolutely correct.
It's just scary that way. Hey, Jacoby, it's about 2:30, so I don't know if you want to go into the Gamers Den gaming attitude for the whole time, but I don't know if we're going to try to wrap up the show or how we're going to wrap it up. I know y'all will be playing video games all day long because y'all will be doing that even after the show, but I'm trying to figure out where we are in the Gamers Den category.
But yeah, we'll actually close the show after this game because I gotta go pick up a little one.
Got to go pick up the little one. Which one? The lady little one or boy little one?
Boy little one.
Cool. Oh, that's right. Y'all were teasing me about not downloading Among Us or this game, and I will try to get some of them downloaded. That actually comes back to something that I was going to ask earlier about things that I would like to have happen because I've got an Android and all of that. But what is the maximum capacity that phones can have to hold games? Because I'm thinking that even some of my friends that got fancy phones,
your phone can have an SD card. I mean, it's up to how big you buy your SD card.
Yeah,
it's memory space.
Yep,
it's a hard drive, essentially.
So if I just upload my memory space on the SD card, then I can download more games than I've got. Because right now I've got a couple of apps like Clubhouse and a couple of other games. But
nowadays.
Nice shot.
Thank you.
What did you say, Jacoby?
Oh, but yeah, just like John was talking about, it's all in the amount of space. Your phone, if you get a phone with say 128 gigs of space automatically in there, you can download a ton of games.
Right.
But
most games on mobile devices aren't huge unless you buy like the high definition stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, like I said, I think it might be 1 gigabyte or so. I forget what it is. It's not a tremendous amount. It's an older version of an Android, but I do know that I can get a better SD card. So I'll just get a better SD card so I can download some of these games that y'all have me talking about because I do have other apps like Clubhouse and other things that take up some of that space. So I just need a bigger SD card. So I'll have to work on that so that I can get Among Us and some of these others so I can actually play along with y'all and learn some of these game skills.
Well, Rocket League is actually putting out a mobile game, or Psionic is putting out a mobile game. It's a mobile version of Rocket League. It's supposed to come out at some point this year.
Sounds terrible.
I mean, you
It's
remember
like when Diablo released their mobile version. Like, why?
You remember the Headley soccer game or whatever, where it's a bunch of heads, where you have it's a 1-on-1 game, and you have a big-headed soccer guy on one side, another big-headed soccer guy on the other side, and they just hit the ball with their head, and it goes to the other end, and you got to back up to get it and bounce it the other way. But that's what it looks like.
By the way, I think y'all are doing a rematch with that Lithuanian kindergarten team because y'all are already up 3-0. Haven't scored another goal.
They forfeited quick.
They gave up. They knew that they would lose. They were like, "We're kindergarten kids. We're giving up."
Yeah, they gave up real quick on that one. So we can't end on a quick forfeit like that. Mark, we got one more game. We're gonna push this out. We're gonna make this happen.
Get ready up, brother. Let's go.
We'll make this happen. Gonna do this for real.
Oh, this is a whole nother arena.
Watch
me. There's a bunch of different ones. There's cool ones for sure.
Yeah, this is like a really cool arena.
Watch me.
Less looks like less fencing around it.
Oh wow!
It looks like y'all are practically in the city.
This is called Neo Tokyo.
Cool.
I rushed that.
That's the name of the map.
Good job.
Neo Tokyo. And y'all scored again. They're up 1-0, and hopefully this team is actually going to stick around in the competition. In fact, I think they're going up against the Japanese. So since we're in Neo Tokyo, they're going up against the home team, and they're still defeating these folks just like they spanked everybody else. So it's 1-0, and they're doing a great job and everything. So it's 1-0 and 4:34. So maybe the home team is going to actually try to bring their A game, because right now this team is just running ramp shot through the entire competition. It's almost as bad as usually when the USA goes up against other teams in basketball, even though this year they're not exactly doing that great. I think they just finally won a game in USA basketball after having been lost like 1 or 2, but that's because half the players aren't playing. But definitely it looks like they actually tied it up. So it's 1-1 and all of that. So it's 1-1 and definitely some whole match going on. So this team looks like they're ready to play because they're playing in their home field of Japan, and they don't want to be embarrassed at the Chinese Olympics because even though it says Neo Tokyo, they're really at the Chinese arena at the regular Olympics and everything. So this is actually going to be going for the gold medal. This is the gold medal match, and the gold medal match is definitely right now they're up 2-1. The home team, the team from the USA, so they are going very well and everything. So definitely still got some good scoring going on, but this other team is not playing. So they're trying to match them goal to goal, score by score. But the clock right now is just slightly working against them. But they've got plenty of time to make the other score. But it is a very tight match. So that's what you would expect in an Olympic game, and particularly the Olympic finals. But we're going to see if this team has got the chance to run any sort of a USA hockey magic like they did way back when and pull off that upset with the Russians. But right now, the favorite team, which is the United States team led by John and Jacoby, is winning, and that is actually what the fans were expecting. Wait a minute. Was that actually one of the celebrities that I saw there in the stands? Yes, I do think that I did see Wesley Snipes and one of the Kardashians. I think it was Kim up there in the stands. So they came to watch the game and to give their support. There's a rumor out there that one of them has a thing about John. I believe it was Kim that does that and everything. But that's what I heard through the rumor mills.
And about me? Ooh, what it was.
Yeah, but it's 2-1 right now. But yeah, they're out here watching the match and definitely rooting for their person that they've heard that's got all of this millions of dollars and all of that. I also understand, oh, wait a minute, that was Elon Musk up in the audience as well. I think he's trying to recruit Jacoby for the next rocket launch up there into the space and everything. So he's here to watch Jacoby, see how Jacoby's skill set is and how his reflexes are, because I understand that he wants to recruit him for their first launch, because that launch has not taken place yet. But they need a ringer since Richard Branson has already gone up in space. So there's conversation that Jacoby may be going up on that next rocket launch, and he's already playing Rocket League. So what's a rocket launch to him and everything? So Jacoby, as I'm talking to you on the phone over there, we hear about you possibly going on the next rocket launch into outer space?
I'm gonna go up there because I gotta find them aliens. Them aliens have the best rockets for the Rocket League cars.
That's right. You got to get some new You got to get some new equipment and everything for these Rocket League cars, and you want to meet the aliens, talk to the aliens, and see if they don't have some hot things for you.
I'm going. No, I got to go to Mars because that's where Marvin the Martian is.
Marvin the Martian is going to help you get those new rockets and those new gas engines that are much more economical and much more efficient, because in Rocket League they need to be more efficient. So I understand that Marvin has actually already sent you a prototype and that you're just going to go take a look at it. And since Elon was giving you basically a hitchhike ride, you were like, sure, why not?
Yep, I got to get the plutonium.
Understood. Hey, John, I understand that you're going to be going up there with Mr. Bezos. So I understand that while he's going up there with Elon, that you might be going on a trip with Mr. Bezos to the other side. So what is your method of madness for wanting to go up there? And by the way, y'all are up 4-1, and it looks like they have forfeited as well. So, well, but at least it went pretty much the entire game. But as we're handing him the trophies and everything, John, what is your thoughts about going up there with Jeff Bezos?
He recently got a divorce, so he can't be reasoned with. So I'm a little sad about it, honestly. So they prescribed me some Xanax, and I'm bringing a bottle of vodka, and I won't remember any of it. So it's really a good time.
Right, you'll have this Xanax in the vodka, and when you come back down, you'll be like, folks will ask you like me what it was like, and you'll be like, oh no, it was a trip.
Shit.
Totally understood. I love that idea, and I'm with you on that. Just go take a trip and have a trip on the trip.
Right? That's what I'm talking about. If you see a cow pie, you flip it over.
That's right.
Totally.
Surprise on the other side.
Totally. Well, that was fun and everything. So that was actually some good little things. By the way, y'all never decided who's going to get the most valuable trophy and which one of y'all is going to shine it the most and fight over it. So I think y'all need to arm wrestle for that now.
Oh, no. I'm
give it to Bull.
No, I give it to John. I don't need no trophies. These kids got too many Legos around. I don't want to step on anything else.
Oh my gosh, Legos. Oh, the arch nemesis, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like picturing Jacoby walking through it. I just pictured Jacoby walking through his house and then all of a sudden doing that slip and slide that we see in the commercials because either his son or his daughter left the Legos out.
Like I said, I ain't messing with no Legos. But all right, we'll go ahead and close the show because I'm gonna go and get one of them.
Understood.
And John, we're gonna have to play again soon.
Yeah.
And everybody, make sure to follow John. John, tell everybody where to follow you.
I'm at Twitch at HXCMax. I'm on Instagram at HXCMaxTTV. But on Twitch and Instagram a lot. Come by and say hi. I like it. Perfect.
All right, Mark, where can everybody find you?
They can find me on a variety of places. Of course, there's the other shows that I do here on podtv.tv, including the online dinner party, which was yesterday, and a couple of other shows. And of course, they can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and on now Clubhouse, usually under the moniker of Lee Entertainment 62 or under Blues Radio. But if you look under either one of those, you can find me generally under one of those in all of those platforms. So like I said, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now Clubhouse, and a couple of other platforms as well. I know we're going to get to you, but I did not want to leave out our young ladies and everything. So I do not remember their exact titles, but I do know their organizations, which is, if you are listening and you've been watching, definitely go follow Kara Oker at Deepened Healthy Roots podcasting and some of her other mediums as well, and definitely follow Siren at Cedo Gaming. But definitely those are two of the amazing ladies that were part of the team as well, and they had to dip out, but I definitely wanted to give them a shout out also because we know that they love to get some love and some shine as well.
That's right. That's right. If you see down at the bottom, I put it in there. Cito Gaming, following their Facebook page, Cito Cito Attorneys, and then look at there, Deep in Roots Health Coaching, right there.
Yep.
Facebook page at Deep in Roots. There you go. Look at there.
Cool. But you don't get off the hook. You try to do that every time. And I know it's right there, but some people are stubborn and they don't always know that it's staring them right in the face. So tell them that it's what's staring at the face and how they can reach you.
Oh, the easiest place to reach me is the Twitch at Bull City GG. There's also Facebook at Bull City GG and BCG Esports at YouTube, but Twitch at Bull City GG. But I guess, it looks like it's 12:41 coming up on 12:45, and I got to hit the road.
You got to hit the road. I got to go find some food. So I'm with you on hitting the road. So I'm here to go find some food because as we were talking, I was looking at some dollar bills nearby and saying those dollar bills need to be spent on some food. And the good news, Jacoby, is the next time they see me, a little bit of this will be gone because part of the other reason that the money is sitting there is because I had saved it for a haircut because I'm about due for one of those. I try to have them at least once every 2 or 3 weeks, and I don't mind looking like Santa Claus, but sometimes I want to be a more trend version of the Santa Claus look. So the barber will be seeing me on tomorrow.
All right. Nice. I know when money stares me in the face, I don't know if it talks to me or not because I ain't got that kind of money.
It doesn't talk to me because we're talking like dollar bills. We're talking dollars and fives. It's not like the big money. As I like to tell folks sometimes, there's a running joke that I've shared even on this platform, which is that when I stick the ATM card in the ATM machine, the ATM starts laughing because it knows that there's no money there for me to have. So the ATM is like, why are you even bothering to put the money in me? Because you know you didn't put anything in me. So you can't take out what you didn't put in.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
and on that note, we'll get on out of here.
Before we ramble on, we'll see everybody later. All right, John, I'll talk to you later.
Later, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Take it easy, John.
See you, Mark.
See you.
See you, people watching and everybody listening. Talk to you next time.
Peace.